What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Mariano the Savior. What's going on, Amanda? Benjamin, how's it going? Ryan, Shankar, Justin, and Richard. What's up, everybody? Glad to have you. This is probably going to be a long stream. Just so everyone knows, this will probably be a lengthy one. And I told you yesterday that was the plan, to have a longer stream today. And so I foresee that, unless things really get, stale with the price action. But we're in an interesting spot, so there's a lot to talk about right now. Don't forget, smash that like button if you haven't already. The faster you hit that button, the more YouTube will refer this stream to other people, and we can really have a good time with like 100 people on the stream. Don't forget, a couple days ago, we had 140 viewers because you all hit that button. So I do appreciate it. Thank you. All right, let me read some of these comments. Shankar says, hi, what's going on? Richard, hello, hello, hello. How's it going, Amanda? Hope you're doing good today. Justin, same. What's up? Not too much, man. Now, I will take a brief, probably 5-minute pause during the stream because I still haven't eaten breakfast. It's been one of those days, and I have it right here, but I don't want to eat it on stream, obviously. So I'll just cover my cam for a moment, in a couple minutes, I think. To the moon. Absolutely to the freaking moon, Benjamin. 100%. What's going on, Connecting? Did I buy that gold Dogecoin like you said? I've been looking for a good Dogecoin. What ended up happening was on Twitter, if you follow Shibatoshi Nakamoto, the Dogecoin creator here, he linked this coin that one of his buddies was selling. Because basically what ended up happening was Shibatoshi signed something and sent it over, and they put that signature on the back of a Dogecoin. Let me find the tweet. It looked really cool. Did I pass it? Let's go to tweets and replies. I want to show you guys, because this is what I wanted to buy, this particular Dogecoin. It should be right about here. Right here. So Shibatoshi said, I signed my iPad and sent it to Dogecoin Militia, and he made a physical coin with the signature and is selling it to raise money for the American Cancer Society, which is a pretty cool result from signing something, in my opinion. And this is the coin. I thought that would be really cool to have this official Dogecoin with the creator of Doge. It says do only good every day, and then it's signed by Billy Marcus on the back. I thought that would be pretty sick. So that's the coin I wanted to get. However, I then went to purchase it because it said you could buy it in Doge, and the price is $150 freaking dollars for the coin. Now I get that that counts as a donation to the society, the foundation, but jeez, bro, $150. You know how much Doge, actual Doge, that could buy me? So I'm gonna have to find a cheaper one because that's a bit much. But I will be getting. I'm still looking for a nice one. Connecting. 7 p.m. in UK. Okay. England playing Ukraine. 8 p.m. kickoff. The time zones are so crazy. The difference. Right here, it's like it just hit afternoon. It's about 2 o'clock. Need your advice on a move you made recently? Yeah. What's going on, Justin? Thank you guys for smashing that button. We've got 15 people. Let's see if we can get to 15 likes. We're only 4 away. Yeah, go ahead, Justin. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. There's 2 more likes right there. Thank you. Now, while you're typing away, let me start talking about what we've got going on here. So, no clickbait in the title. You know that over the last couple days, we've been watching, of course, Dogecoin as well, because Dogecoin is the thing that most of us here are invested in. But when we want to figure out where's Dogecoin going to go, we have to look at the market leader that is pulling Dogecoin either up or down at any given time. And that is Bitcoin, the high market cap market leader. It crashed Doge, it crashed Ethereum, it crashed Cardano, it crashed XRP. And so we're waiting to see when Bitcoin will recover, because once it does, that's when we can expect Dogecoin to recover. And so the Wyckoff accumulation pattern that you also see in the title there, it talks about a potential recovery right around this time. And this is exactly what we've been looking for. So as you can see on Doge, if you looked at it from this angle, you've got somewhat of like a descending triangle, but really it's just, you know, kind of a triangle that's starting to form here. And so you'd expect at some point, you know, we get squeezed in here and we make a decision. Do we go up or do we fall out the bottom? Overall, over the last couple weeks, I've been notoriously bearish on Bitcoin and Dogecoin just because of the moves they've been making. It looked like it wanted to crash one more time before it did finally go back up, because we know Dogecoin's going to go up. This is not a spread FUD on Dogecoin channel by any means. We want Dogecoin to go to the moon. But along the way, we want to figure out what's going to happen so that we can buy dips if the dips are going to come, or, you know, we can do what we need to do. Chart looks great. It is looking good. Hey, what's going on, Skydive? Yeah, and so we're just waiting to see what's going to happen here. What you'd usually expect with a triangle, if everything's looking good and there's decent volume, if it's just a basic triangle, is for it to be a continuation play. So you got the move up, consolidation, and then continuation out the top. But if there's not enough volume and things aren't looking good, a lot of times these just fall right out the bottom. So instead of doing what you saw here, instead of doing that, you would end up seeing something like that out the bottom. A lot of times that's what ends up happening with these triangles. But when you look at Bitcoin to get the real perspective, you can start to see, well, let's zoom out just a bit more. And I'm supposed to be on the 8-hour time frame for the Wyckoff pattern here, but it doesn't matter too much. 4 hours will do for now. You can see I mapped out a couple different things here. The main thing to note, though, is what you kind of can see in the thumbnail, which is the Wyckoff accumulation pattern. This right here. And according to the pattern, and according to what everyone else is thinking, and what everyone else is seeing, we're at this stage right here. The pullback, the making the high here, the pullback, that's a higher low, higher high, higher low, and then the takeoff. On that third pullback, right after that, there's the takeoff. If you look here, according to the Wyckoff pattern, we're right here. This was the low. Then you have the higher high, higher low, even higher high, higher low, and this third low is supposed to be the last one. After that, we get back to here. Maybe we mess around a little bit, but then we take off. And that's what sparks the recovery. We take off, do one more pullback, and then we go back to, you know, to all-time high area. So that's what we're monitoring. And what's interesting is there were two different angles that we could have potentially been seeing with this, because if I hide drawings real quick, what you can kind of see, if you take this off right here, is that this little sideways M started repeating itself right here overall. Well, first it repeated itself here, but then longer term, it repeated itself right here. So if you see, there was the move down, but then it did this sideways M, pull back right to here, move up, pull back to that same area, traded sideways, then dumped. Then that started this same one from right here, the M, pull back, sideways. We would have expected a dump if it was going to repeat the same pattern again, but instead it's breaking out to the top side. So what that tells me is now we know we're not really following this anymore. So there's that. So now we can start looking at this from really the only perspective that's left, and that is really the perspective of we're potentially going to go up from here. Let me read a couple comments here, and then I'll get back to this pattern explanation. And welcome to everybody in the chat right now. We've got 30 people in the stream. Don't forget, if you haven't smashed the like button, click that, and let's see if we can get up to 140 viewers like we were a couple days ago. Your clicking the button will directly contribute to that. Each time it brings like 2 people in. So Justin says, I bought in Doge, let's just say around 50 cents. Got about 1,475 Doge for roughly 500 GBP. Since it's been down, I bought the same amount for a lot less. Did I do the right thing? Yes. So here's the thing. If you are in Dogecoin, and you guys know my perspective, a video's blurry. Is the video blurry for anybody else? It really shouldn't be. Try adjusting your quality. Make sure it's 1080p. Here it is 2 p.m. Damo. I'm United States Eastern time, so it's 2 p.m. in the afternoon here on Saturday. So it's blurry for everybody? Let me try and figure this out in just a moment. All right, give me just a second. I'll try and figure out why it's blurry. But I just want to answer Justin's question real quick. So here's the thing. You guys know my opinion on Dogecoin. and know what I've been telling you. I've been sharing fundamentals and reasons why Dogecoin should be going to the moon, and I've given price targets on what that should be. Short term, 50 to 60 cents. After some more announcements, we get closer to like 80 cents, and that once we hit, once we get back to 75 cents, we'll end up snowballing to $1 pretty quick. If we're comfortable enough to get to 75 cents, we're only 25 cents from $1. It's not going to take much. We're going to have so much more momentum and so much more hype at that time. We're going to be close, okay? So hitting the $1 isn't going to be hard. Now, if you have that kind of faith in Dogecoin like I do, then you know that it's just a matter of time before we start hitting new high price levels. So the price will get back to you at 50 cents, Justin, and then you also know it's going to go beyond that, and then you'll be deep in profit. So the thing is, if you have that belief and you also have more money set aside to trade with, when you get these crazy dips down to Dogecoin, 25, 24 cents like we are right now, this is your opportunity to buy more at a much cheaper price and dollar cost average or average down. Yeah, this is your perfect opportunity to start averaging down and buying more Doge even cheaper. That way on the recovery, you get not only into profit faster because it'll bring your average cost down. So you'll break even at a lower price than 50 cents by doing that. Then you'll, once we do hit 50 cents, you'll be actually in profit instead of just breaking even like you would be right now. And then the further up we go, the more and more profit you're into because you have more shares of Dogecoin. So by all means, if you have more money and you have a high average, definitely average down when you're at these extreme discounts. Anything under 25 cents Dogecoin, in my opinion, is a great discount. No matter what ends up happening next. If we went to 15 cents next and your average is 24 cents, you're still in a good spot. If we went to 9 cents and you still believe we're going to recover and your average happened to be 23, 24 cents, you're still in a good spot because that's not terribly far away from, even 10 cents. But then you've got so much more upside potential. That's the way to look at it. There's much less downside potential and there's much more upside potential when you're down under 25 cents. So really anything under there, if I see stability, it looks like we're at a bottom, that's where I'm buying. To let you guys know, I did just buy back in on my scalping account right here at about 24 cents, just in anticipation of the potential move up. Thank you all for smashing that like button. See how many people it's bringing in? If you just popped in, hit that like button. Let's try and get to like 35 likes. Let's see if we can get 100 people in the stream again like we had yesterday, 2 days ago. 140 people. So for example, this would have been a potential dip buy opportunity, but it was a little risky because we didn't know if it was going to keep going down. But if you bought in on the way up, like we had talked about, and got in right around 17 to 19 cents, that's a great dip buy opportunity. Your next dip buy was right here on the pullback when it confirmed it was holding right around 23 cents. Now we're just trading sideways right here. Your next dip buy opportunity, if this holds and continues to go up, it's literally right now between 24 and 25 cents. The way that you can play this, and this is the really nice thing about this, you can either play this really tight or a little loose. But you can see, let me turn drawings back on. You can see that we have two support lines right here. We have a horizontal support and we have the diagonal support here from the trend line, meeting right here at the same price. So buying in here at 24.8 is low risk because if you want to trade this like a trader would, you put your stop loss anywhere down here, risk 1 cent for a potential multiple cent up move, because it does look like we want to break out the top side of the triangle. So you could definitely take a chance at it and risk maybe 1 cent, or if you want to be more conservative, you could put your stop loss, closer to here, the absolute low of this whole move, and maybe you lose like 1.5 cents, with potential to make, who knows, 10, 15, 20 cents. So that's a massive risk to reward ratio. If you're not super confident in this and you do still want some skin in the game, what you can do instead is start averaging in. You don't have to always all in to one position. So if you think this might be a decent buy opportunity, but you're not sure and you don't want to risk that whole cent move down, put like half of your trading size in and ride that wave up. And if it goes down, you're only losing at half the rate. And then if you do think it's just going down and it's going to bounce there, you can put the rest in, and then you're actually averaging down. Your dollar cost averaging and getting an even lower average. So you bought half here, you buy the other half here. Now your average is like right here, and then you ride the wave up. So always take low risk plays, but you do have to be in at some point, guys. That's been my point. If you think we're potentially near a bottom, You can't just wait and see what happens and then say, oh man, I wish I had bought. That's how you make zero money. You make no shots that you do not shoot. So that you just can't play that way. Good traders, they make educated guesses. They take entries at great opportunities with low risk, and then they just keep doing that. And their win rate stays high. Their losses stay low on the losses because they bought at the right spot, and that's how they remain profitable. You do not have to be right every single time you place a trade. It's about trading properly. There's some trading styles where the win rate is actually less than 50%, and they still remain profitable. And that's because they're keeping their wins when they do win large, and their losses when they do lose very small. So that's the thing most people don't understand as they get started. Again, I don't like this song. This sounds like Stranger Things cutscene. All right. Let's see. Pump today was on really low volume, but a bit concerning, but we'll see. The only thing here that's making me think we're going to go up is Wyckoff accumulation pattern and the failure of the downtrend angle that we had been looking at. So with the M repeating itself, it didn't play out because we made a break to the upside. Unless that was just a fake move and it's not going to hold whatsoever, because that is a possibility. But this right here kind of broke what we were looking at to repeat itself right here. The M consolidation and drop off, the M consolidation, and then it went up instead. So it doesn't look like we're going to follow that pattern to a T anymore. If it wants to fake us out, loop around, and then dump off, okay, there's that possibility. But what it's looking like more now we're following the Wyckoff accumulation patterns angle, which was this whole thing right here, and then this being the last pullback. Then we get back to this level, and we can make a continuation up to here, pull back, take off. That's what this pattern calls for on the Wyckoff. So right here. That's what everybody thinks we're following, by the way. You guys know how I feel about patterns, but if everybody thinks we're following the pattern, if it does continue to play itself out, people will start buying into it, just like I just bought into it. So we need to, this stream will be a chill stream where we kind of wait it out and watch and see what happens, and I will answer all your questions meanwhile. Thank you for all the likes, by the way. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Yes, exactly, Ryan. What's going on, Caught Up? Welcome back to the stream. Hello, hope my day's going well. It is going well, Ray. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome back. Bitcoin, will it cross 37,000? If it continues following the pattern, yes, it'll cross 37,000 level, and then it'll head up towards 40,000s. That'll bring Doge close to 30 cents. Looks perfectly clear to you, Subi. Chill Future says, bought in at 17 cents, bought more at 25 cents, average at 19 right now with almost 6,000 Doge. Should I buy in again? You want to keep your average low, but more Doge. 6,000 Doge. I mean, you have a great average right now. If you already bought more at 25, I wouldn't necessarily buy more now. I would just wait this move out because you kind of just got in already, and we don't know for sure if this pattern is going to continue playing itself out. If it does not play itself out and people panic, there could be a panic sell and you might get burned. So you're in a great spot to just kind of wait and see. Justin, what's up? Oh, Damo says, bro, Bitcoin is going to go down this weekend, or will it cross 37? Well, the angle right now is that it's going to cross and head up to 36, 37 and break. That's the way it's looking, and that's what the stream is going to be monitoring. Now, you guys all know the stream is 100% honest, though I am an experienced trader and have been doing this for a couple years. I do not like say it's going to 100% happen. If I don't know for a fact something's going to happen, I'm not going to tell you it's going to happen. And I'm also not a financial advisor, so I'm not going to tell you exactly when to buy, when to sell, what to do. But I will give you my perspective on what I would be doing in these scenarios. And from everything I can deduce so far, we are now following still the Wyckoff accumulation pattern, which calls for this being the last pullback right here, and then us seeing a bullish reversal and a real reversal back towards Bitcoin 50,000 coming over the next couple days. And this is the starting point. So what's very, very, very important now is that we watch this chart and see how it plays this move right here. Does it continue up and go to here and break above that? If it does, you might see an extreme surge of buying pressure as everybody gets confirmation that we are still actually following the pattern. All right, and then especially as we get up to this level and do that last pullback, that could be your last dip buy opportunity. If it goes up to like 41-ish, 42, pulls back to maybe 40, 39, that could be your last dip on Dogecoin side before we end up heading to Bitcoin like 50,000, which would take Doge, you know, back to 40, about 40 cents. So, you know, this could be our last dip buy area. That's what I'm saying. Make sure you guys play this smart so that if we don't get what it looks like is going to happen and there is a crash, you're exposing yourself to low risk still because you're going to play it right. But just in case this is really what's happening here, what everyone thinks is going to happen does play out, you want to be in and not out. All good here, enjoying this beautiful weather, waiting to make that money. I like that. I see you changed the profile picture up, Skydive, from the M, the purple M. Is there any way to set a stop loss in Robinhood? Not on crypto. I think Webull will let you do that, but not on Robinhood. Smash that like button. You already know. Let me bring my chat over so I can actually read this a little better. There we go. Looks good now? Okay, awesome. Make sure if anybody's having issues seeing my stream at this moment, make sure you do this, because it is clear on my end as well. So make sure you go on your, if you're on mobile, you know, hit the settings, the quality thing, go to your quality on mobile. It'll say advanced, click on that and change it to the highest, which should be 1080p. Just make sure you're at highest quality. Yeah, I got tired of everyone thinking I'm a man. That's funny. How's it going, Michael? Welcome back to the stream. What's up, Bryce? This is short-term Wyckoff. What is higher upper bound? Higher upper bound, I mean, there's not a good way to predict that, because at the same time, we are emotional trading here. This is not all technical, because you have to keep in mind the reasons that we're actually down here, which is because of Elon and China. So the levels we could actually hit, I'm not going to try and accurately price predict where exactly we're going to go. But if you look at key levels, you know, this is where we are right now, based off what we can assume reasonably, just because of the support and resistance lines we already have. This pullback should be a continuation after this trade sideways here. Continuation up to 36,000. Maybe a little more ranging here, we'll see. And then a bigger move, you know, overall up to about 40 to 42. A pullback of probably 1,000 or 2. And then a takeoff back towards levels that we were seeing before the crash. So anything over this level is levels before the crash, which is right at 42,000. And that's why this level's been so important. And we've tested it quite a few times, as you can see, trying to get up there and haven't quite made it. So once we do break, we'll start seeing, you know, moves up towards mid to high 40,000s and maybe even into here. This is pretty conservative. We're not getting back to 60, 65,000, which was the all-time highs we came from, but we're getting back towards this average value price area for Bitcoin, which is like high 40s to lowish 50s. I think that's where we'll end up landing. And then when Elon Musk unsuspends Bitcoin for Tesla, we'll see the moves back up to 60, and then it'll continue along its way, heading back up to like 65 and continuing its trajectory, which was to hit 100,000 by the end of the year. So it'll kind of unpause it and let it continue doing what it was going to do. And what you'll end up seeing longer term happen here from Bitcoin will basically have been, you know, this. You'll kind of end up seeing one of those. Which, by the way, just reminds me of this pattern I just saw. I'll delete these lines for now because they're irrelevant. just make this a easier to look at color. And guys, we are all here for Dogecoin. Keep that in mind. But the reason we're looking at Bitcoin is it's the market leader, and it is the one that's dictating what price levels we hit on Doge. So if we want to know what to do on Dogecoin, you have to look at Bitcoin. So don't get frustrated if you see Bitcoin up here for a lot of time. We are trying to figure out what happens next on Doge. Doge is only going to go where Bitcoin goes unless we have some news announcement on Dogecoin. If we don't have news to move off of, as you can see, Dogecoin just trades sideways and follows whichever direction Bitcoin takes it. So unless there's an Elon tweet, Dogecoin's just going to follow Bitcoin. What I will do, though, is side by side it for those that want to see both. And we'll just flip back and forth at that point if we need to see something specific. So let's just kind of do this. Let's see right here how Bitcoin handles this upper side of that resistance level that's turning into potential support. I did not mean to do that. Let's get that back down there. Here we go. Let's drop the time frame a little. As you can see, it's a little low volume on Dogecoin. This is my point. It just waits for Bitcoin. See all these weird candles that don't make any sense? Like right here, right here, right here. Did I miss your Anchor review? No, I did not have time to look at it. I was not planning on streaming this early. I basically got out of bed, which I slept late, showered, and then went live. But what I'll do is actually start looking at that on stream, because this will probably be a longer stream. But I didn't have any time to do extra research because I started the stream hours earlier than usual today. Mariano, any chance a quick overview on AMP? Again, Amanda? Jesus. All right. Yeah, we'll do a quick overview on AMP in just a moment. I bought all the dip. My average... You bought all the dip. Your average is 35 cents. That's a pretty decent spot. Amanda loves her some AMP. She sure does, Ryan. I bet she didn't watch it. She can't find it. Yeah, got tired of everyone. Yeah. Oh, have a good night, Dombo. Thanks for hanging out briefly. Holding 45K Doge at 19 cent Foge. You're tempted to buy more before blast off? If you have 45,000 already, I might just be content with that, honestly. You have a great average, 45,000 Doge. Just think, Dogecoin gets near $1, you're at what, like 40 grand, 45? So, I mean, you're at a great spot. I would probably hold on to that capital in case we do redip if something fails here. If not, just ride the wave up and then diversify with that extra money that you've got. Maybe throw it into some YOLO-ish plays like SHIB or something. But that's a massive position size. That's awesome, Eric. Skydive says, Amanda, I'll see if I can find the videos. Timestamp, I'll post in the comments once the stream's over. Awesome. Thank you, Skydive. Sounds good. Hopefully it plays out. Yep. Hope that Elliott thing we were looking at plays out too, although it may be too good to happen. Here's the thing. Whether you're looking at the Elliott pattern or the Elliott wave pattern or the Wyckoff accumulation pattern, both of them call for a bullish move, which is good because what that tells us is we now have, apart from the already obvious potentially bullish formations we're getting, both of the main patterns that people are watching are saying we're also going to go up. So this could really play itself out if enough people believe. Connecting says 260,000 at 75 average. Hoping we don't go back to... Oh, 0.075 average? Wow. Well, that is an insane average. You are going to be in some big money, sir. You already are, but that's awesome. Great spot. Yeah, you don't even need to average down or anything. Good stuff. Also, welcome to all 40-ish of you in the stream right now. Glad to have you. Don't forget, hit that like button. Let's see if we can get up to like 35 likes. So yeah, this is what we're watching now. This is quite interesting. Let's drop the time frame just a little so we can see what Bitcoin's really doing. As you look, here's the thing. This is where we were yesterday, and we were doing this this reversal pattern right here. And what I said yesterday is when we were right here, most of the time when you see these steep fall-offs, you see this consolidation that starts narrow, widens out, and then narrows again, this kind of bowl bottom that starts to form, and then you see a similar breakup. And as you can see here, that's exactly what happened. Breakdown, bowl, break back up, consolidation sideways. Then this is almost like the other shoulder to the inverse head and shoulder right here. And then it usually will do a break back up, a pull back, and a move up. And that kind of almost ends up being a weird cup and handle type thing as well. So that's why I've got this drawn out. This is my expectation, basically just something like that. So this could be really good today, guys. And yes, this is going to be a long stream because you know Bitcoin's going to draw this move out and it's going to take a while, okay? But we are definitely going to watch this chart and see how it plays out. Don't forget, click subscribe if you're not already subscribed in case you have to leave and then come back later when something's happening. Would hate to miss you. Thank you for the 30 likes. Appreciate that, everybody. Let's see what we can really do here. Similar angle here from Doge as well. We're getting some consolidation, some strength around the 200 EMA. Expecting some sort of upward move to come here shortly, but I will delete that line. So yeah, we're kind of kicking back, listening to music and answering chats while this plays out. Yeah, short-term time frame. Yep, I'm on the 3-minute here. This should be good. And let's just zoom in a little bit. But I'll do 1 minute on Dogecoin. Ew, no I won't. That's low volume, that's pretty bad. There we go. Let's do 1 minute on Bitcoin and 3 minute on Doge. As you can see, nice hold here at the 200 EMA. All right, guys, I'm going to go cam off for like 2 minutes just so I can finish this food right here before I die of starvation. Hang around, smash the like button, click subscribe if you do have to go for any reason before you go. But I'll be literally back in like a minute or two. So, thank you. Oh, my be right back thing isn't working. Hold up. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. What's up, Mar? Sorry about that. No, not clickbait. There's no clickbait on this channel. I don't do clickbait. I will go right back to eating, but I saw that question. I had to answer it. So basically, what we're talking about here is the Wyckoff accumulation pattern that everyone and their mama has been talking about, that we are going to potentially see Bitcoin follow here. If I put this to one screen, just so I can show you what I'm talking about, if you take a look at this chart here, yeah, everyone's been saying it for the past, no, by all means, I mean, people have been saying it for the last 2 months, really. They've been saying Dogecoin's going to recover. We're going to see Dogecoin go to 50 cents by so and so time. On this channel, that stuff does not happen. If it's something obvious, I'll say it might happen, but I'm never going to say that something's going to happen because we just don't know. There's too many factors in cryptocurrency right now. We've got the market crash, we've got Elon Musk tweets, we've got everything. There's no way to know exactly what's going to happen here. The thing is, tell us your side. That would greatly help so you can stay on the same page. Yeah, absolutely. So here's the thing. According to the Wyckoff accumulation pattern, and here's what everyone's been seeing. And the thing is, if everyone sees it, everyone will end up starting to trade according to it, which means it'll probably start to play out. Everyone's been saying Bitcoin so far after the crash has been following this to a T. And I can see the angle. I did draw it out on stream yesterday. And it's very, very, very close. But you're supposed to use the 8-hour time frame. I don't have that on Webull, and I don't like using TradingView, so I'm just going to take everyone's word for it at that point. It's according to that, though, we are at this point right here, literally right here on this third pullback. As you can see, there was the move down, which made a new all-time low from the previous price action, a pullback, and then a pullback here to a higher low, a move up, and then a pullback here to a even higher low, the third low being the last one. If you take a look here, as you can see, I already started drawing this out. And we are following that to a T so far, as you can see. So we had the pullback here, the swing up, the pullback to a higher low, the swing up higher, and then the pullback to that third low right here, the third higher low, which is supposed to be the last one. So if we hold this pattern, if we just, because we have already started bouncing here like we're supposed to, right about here, as you can see, hopefully you can see that. Whoa, I zoomed in too far. Right here. And what this calls for, according to Bitcoin, if we are going to continue to follow this pattern, we do bounce like we are right now off the 33,000 level, continue up, ranging up, meet that 36,000 resistance that we just made, and then continue moving up and actually do a full reversal and recovery here back towards, 40,000 and near 50,000 Bitcoin, which would bring Doge up to like 30, 40 cents, 40, 45 cents. So that could be absolutely massive. So that's what we're seeing right here. We need to move up to this level, the previous high, which would be 36,000-ish, almost 37, do a bit of a pullback, and continue taking off. And then there would, if that happens, there'll be one final major pullback and then a move up. So that's what we're watching right now. I was extremely skeptical of this pattern. I didn't think it was going to follow through. I was thinking, just based off this pattern starting to repeat here, where it ended up crashing, that's what we were going to see right here. But instead, we are still following the Wyckoff accumulation pattern. So as of this moment, it looks like we could be breaking out today into tomorrow, just depending on how long Bitcoin drags this out for. But it's looking very, very promising. All we need to do is continue up to here and continue going, and we are following the pattern. Does 4th of July have anything to do with it breaking out? I feel like it does. Coincidence? Well, people have been talking about 4th of July and wanting to make something happen on it. They were saying like Bitcoin to 40,000 by 4th of July or Dogecoin to 40 cents by 4th of July. So with that additional momentum, there could definitely be a play. Because you know how people love to have a good time and buy just for like meme value. So that could also factor into us continuing to follow the reversal pattern here. But my point is, though I am skeptical, just like you probably are, we have been following it, and we are still following it. So as of this moment, I have no reason to believe we are not going to continue. Here's the other angle, though. If everyone's believing that we are going to recover, and we, for some reason, do not recover, so for example, we don't keep following this pattern, and instead we do another pullback here and start going back down, and that means we break the pattern. There will probably be an insane sell-off as people lose faith in it. And sorry, my music was loud there. There will probably be a very drastic sell-off as people lose faith and they start to panic since the pattern got broken. So this is either going to be great or it could be really, really bad, and we could end up back in Bitcoin 20,000s here because we're already near the lowest level of support. Under 33, we have 31, and then we have this weak level at 28,000, which really doesn't count. So if this fails and we start to dump off, we could see a whole nother market crash. So it's like a 50-50 shot of we recover for good and we see, back to all-time highs, or we crash and see new lows. It's a very important time to be watching the charts. And so that's why I decided to stream. This will be a nice lengthy stream here as we monitor this price action and watch it together. And hopefully Bitcoin won't drag it out like it always does unnecessarily long. What we can see here is a bit of a relatively bullish flag happening right here. So we should be seeing a continuation here in a couple moments. So let's just keep an eye on it. Hope that answered your question, Mauer. It's hard to know exactly when it will happen, but a big move is coming, trust. Yeah, that's the way it's looking. What's going on, Stankus? Welcome. With the Robinhood news going on, should you be trying to... How long till we see the impact? There's no way to know that, unfortunately. Over the next, it could be today, it could be tomorrow, the day after. Bitcoin moves really, really slowly sometimes. Moves like this happen quick, but then the in-betweens, they really, sometimes take hours. So it could either be a quick move up or a Bitcoin sideways typical move. There's no way for me to tell you that, Amanda, unfortunately. But I would assume either today or worst case scenario over the next couple days here, if it really drags it out to the max. Yeah, no problem, Mauer. And welcome to the channel. But everything we're seeing here looks like this is going to continue up. We did this move up. We started holding at the 200 EMA for support on Dogecoin. We start holding at this level and right above the resistance level as support on Bitcoin. We are looking like we want to do the continuation up and break out. So everything is indicating positive signs here. Let's go back to the 1 minute here on Bitcoin and to the 3 minute on Doge. Don't forget, guys, subscribe if you're not subscribed. I know usually we get like half subscribers and half new people. Don't forget, if you're one of those new people that have not subscribed yet, to click that button. It's very important. It's going to happen tonight while we sleep in. We would have to celebrate with a big bang. The moves always tend to happen overnight. Once the Asia market, the Asia side kicks in, the whole next round of volatility kicks in and the moves start to finish out. So I would not be surprised. That's what ended up happening overnight. I mean, we went from 33,000 up to like 34.5 overnight. Decisions tend to get made on Bitcoin overnight. With the Robinhood news going on, should I be trying to get my brother to move my Doge over to Coinbase? So you can't. I mean, if you mean once the wallet gets dropped, should you let it happen? That's really just up to you. I don't think Robinhood is really going to... Well, the thing is, too, you can't export crypto. Wallet, Robinhood doesn't allow that yet, to let you take it to any wallets. But if you just mean to sell your position and rebuy it on another crypto exchange, I'm not going to do that. I don't really see a good reason to. I've still got a lot of my crypto on Robinhood. The thing for me is I've got my accounts as well, where if I want to like buy things, sell things, send crypto to friends, I've got my Coinbase and my whatever, my actual exchanges, my crypto exchanges. But for making like profit, Robinhood lets me buy it low, sell it high. So I don't have a reason to really mess around with that part. Not at all clickbait. Yep. Yeah, I think it'll be fine on Robinhood. Don't sell it on Robinhood and buy elsewhere if your profits are big and your Doge was just purchased under... Yeah, short-term capital gains. That's a very good point. Very good point. The thing is, if you really wanted to lock in major profits and not have to worry about capital gains, you should have started on another platform already. At this point, if it has not been a year... no matter what happens, once you sell, you are going to get that tax. So the plus side would have been if you started on another exchange already and then you wanted to exit your position, you could transfer your Dogecoin and swap it out for a stable coin like USDC that's tied to the US dollar. That way you could cash out without changing your profit from crypto to fiat to the US dollar technically. And that keeps you from having to deal with the capital gains thing because it's still in cryptocurrency. But on Robinhood, you don't have that option. So, yeah. So that brings a couple different questions. It's like, what is your plan? Are you planning to just hold Dogecoin for a year regardless or not? Because if your plan was no matter what, you're not going to hold it for a year. You just want to cash out like once Doge hits 80 cents or something. Then your capital gains is not going to, it's not going to matter. Whether you sell now and switch to Coinbase, or if you sell in like a month and switch to Coinbase if you just bought. Because either way, you're going to have to pay that tax. Wow, Michael, that's pretty depressing. It's so hard to break the 25-cent line on Doge. That's the major level on Dogecoin right now. Doge, 25 cents. How long till we see the impact? Up or down? Yeah, I can't really predict that one. Can I explain the history of this pattern? So the Wyckoff accumulation pattern, the distribution and the accumulation pattern is a pattern, a very common pattern apparently for market manipulation. So large corporation, you know, the money makers, hedge funds, everything. It's the pattern that the market makers end up forcing, that ends up burning retail traders that don't know what they're doing, that make emotional decisions and that don't really know how to trade. It ends up making them lose money, and it ends up giving the big money a great opportunity to buy low before the recovery. And so if you just kind of Google this Wyckoff accumulation, and let me just read a quick portion to any of you guys that are confused about what this pattern is. And I'll just read it straight from this page. So let me very briefly pause the music, and I'll let you know what the purpose of this is. So just starting from here, I'll just skip around. I'm not obviously going to read most of this at all. But it says, in Wyckoff's analysis, this phase B portion, all of this right here, which is right before where we are now, serves the function of building a cause for a new uptrend. So it then says, institutions and large professional interests. Here we go, so you guys can read it as well. Institutions and large professional interests are accumulating relatively low-priced inventory in anticipation of the next markup. The process of institutional accumulation may take a long time. In some cases, it could be, a swing trade type thing where it could take like a year or more for that pattern to form out. In this case, it's more like a couple weeks, and it involves purchasing shares at lower prices and checking advances in price with short sales. So basically what it's saying is the price gets forced down. It freaks out all the retail traders. They end up panic selling, and the price, gets drove down. It ends up hanging out here for a long time. During this period of time, the big money, the smart money, they get all of these clear opportunities to buy these dips. And as this pattern forms out more and more, they get a clear indication that this is the Wyckoff pattern of manipulation. And so they can then anticipate the reversal coming up soon. And so that's when they get their signals to start buying in, loading up, because it's going to take off. Now, that's not the exact pattern we were looking at, so maybe I should just go to the one we were at right here, which is right here. So, yeah. But anyway, that's the point. It's basically to let big money buy in, and then, the pattern forms out. It gives them that signal that this is a manipulation pattern. There is going to be a reversal, and then they buy in low, and then you get the reversal, and they get to ride the wave up. So retail traders get burned. Big money makes their money. It's the usual. That's the quick explanation. Thank you all for the likes, by the way. And I see a couple notifications haven't come through because you guys probably have your subscription, like your account set to private settings. For those of you that do subscribe, if your account is set to private, it won't like notify me and tell me that you've subscribed, but I do see the number has gone up by a couple. So thank you all to you guys that have clicked that subscribe button. If you haven't clicked it yet and you're new to the channel, click the button. You will not regret it. We do these live streams every single day. A higher power told me we are in for a surprise. The breakout is going to happen. If it doesn't happen, then it was sabotaged by another power. It is supposed to break out. That is the plan. Yeah, that sounds right. All right, a little bit of sign of weakness here. We'll keep an eye on a potential fake out though, because we do have support coming down to here. So let's see. All right, big red candle, slowing down at the line of support. Increased selling pressure. See what our next levels are. Next level is right here. Very strong level. Also, selling on Robinhood under 12 months not only exposes you to short-term gains, but you could get hit with it again after selling on another platform if you hodl under 12 months. Interesting, interesting. Bit of a random sell-off here. Little surprised by that one, but that looked like some larger account selling all at once. Too much uncertainty? Yeah, it's very uncertain. That's why I was saying if you do buy in, you just, be careful, because we're expecting to follow the pattern, and that's why we're watching this live stream, because if we do follow the pattern, at some point today or maybe early tomorrow, we can expect to see massive moves up. But at the same time, if we don't follow the pattern, you have to be prepared for your exit. Always planning your trade and then executing your plan, trading your plan. We'll see what happens right here. This is a bit interesting. All right, guys, I'm gonna cam off for like one more second. I came back from hour, but I was not quite done. So 1 sec.
taking no L's. I'm on their coattails with a cash cost.
All right, I'm back. Thank you for your patience. Thanks for hanging out, Mar. Appreciate your support, man. Hey, Wendy, welcome back. From Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. Nice. Hey, Mass Market, what's going on? Burgerland. Just came to hit the like button, support the Doge community. Thank you. Appreciate that. Much appreciated. Justin Guinto, what's up? You guys think we're going up or down today? So the overall prediction has been up, but we're just waiting to see what Bitcoin's going to do. Is it going to follow the pattern that everybody's been, expecting it to follow, which is the Wyckoff accumulation pattern? So far, it is following it, but will it continue? That's really the question. But yeah, thank you all for smashing the like button. It's really helping. But we are watching to see. Bitcoin is really trying to fight it, but it is still following the pattern. So that is key. As you can see here, it's still doing fine. Oh yeah, the music. How do I give a like on the mobile? So if you got your phone like up and down like this, the button is right below the video. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Helm? Yeah, but thanks a lot, Matt's Market. I really appreciate that support. What is my price prediction on both? So if we go up, this should be, by the end of the day, we should be seeing Bitcoin to 36,000. If it continues breaking out by the time this day ends, that should be Bitcoin at closer to 42, which will put Dogecoin really close to like 30 cents, 32 cents. Going past that is just going to be Bitcoin and Dogecoin recovering back to levels they came from. So that's going to be Bitcoin to like 45, 50,000. That's going to be Dogecoin to like 40 cents, 45 cents. And hopefully, if we see the recovery really start today, we could be seeing, those levels by tomorrow or the day after. It's just going to be a little matter of time as the price continues to go up and up and up. Yeah, no problem. So like I said, this is a chill stream. It's going to take a little bit of time for us to get these moves going. But I told you yesterday that's what this stream was going to end up being anyway. So if you want to hang out, by all means. If you do have to go, just make sure you click subscribe before you leave. That way you can catch us later on. But I am here for this move. I want to see it play out. And we'll also look at some other cryptocurrencies as well. Anchor is one of the ones that I still need to look up for one of you guys. So I'm going to get that queued up right now. Cool. So let's briefly pause music and let's just start looking at this Anchor coin here. And let's see what it's all about.
Hi, and welcome to the Coin Bureau.
To do this
My
properly,
name is Guy, and in this video, I'm going to give you exactly what you need to know about Anchor. But a few things before I start. We are never
just so we can
payable
still keep an eye on the price. And let's just
any
do
of our reviews.
Bitcoin only, because we really need to see what this one's going to do for the moment. Doge isn't going anywhere that Bitcoin doesn't go, so we need to see where Bitcoin's going.
Not financial advice.
All right, and then let's see what
If this
we
is
can
your
figure out
first
about
time
Anchor
at the
coin.
Bureau, then you may want to tap that subscribe button, as I'll be sending out many more computing platform where consumers will be able to access cloud resources. We have to take a closer look into the technology. What
So this is
makes
for
the
whoever
Anchor
asked
net-
about Anchor Coin. We're just going to take a look at it, see what it's all about. Let me hide that QR code real quick. Hide some of my text here. There we go. And let's give it a watch. We can
network
actually
unique is it is one of the
this over a
first
bit.
to use trusted hardware to ensure security at enterprise levels. They're using Intel SGX as the main technology component, which allows for the execution of applications within the hardware itself. This technology is more secure against certain hardware and software attacks since it processes certain executions inside the hardware. Of course, this could limit the number of users that are able to run a verification node on the network. This hardware ain't cheap. However, the Anchor team is of the view that this will increase the security on the network, as the monetary commitment could be a disincentive for malicious actors. So we'll have to see how this plays out. When it comes to the blockchain itself, they use a proof of useful work consensus mechanism. Essentially, validator nodes will take part in block propagation on the network. The team hopes that by using these special nodes, quality of the network can be maintained and bad actors.
By the way, strongly recommend you subscribe to this channel if you like to diversify the content you look at and you really want to find other useful channels that give good information. Coinboro is one of them. It's one of the ones that I watch in my spare time. And what I like to do is there's different channels on YouTube, by the way, for different things. There's the channels that will explain to you what things do, and then there's others that will then explain to you why they think they're useful or not after you already know what they do, and like what the success rate is probably going to be of that one, why it, though it does what you know it does, why it's actually going to play out to be something valuable or not, or a money-making opportunity. I look at the guys that explain what the things do, and then I come with my opinion on why they're going to be actually like successful or not, why they're going to be, you know, a market leader in the next couple months, if it's going to make us money or not based off of what it does. So I go to other channels usually to find a good explanation of what fundamentally these things actually do. And then I come to you with like my opinion on whether or not that's going to be something worth investing in or not.
Can be removed.
And he's a
Anchor
good
will
channel
also
for
utilize
explaining
a reputation-based
the
system
actual
when it comes to
cryptocurrency
choosing these validator nodes.
and what they actually
And
do.
in order to facilitate off-chain data and processing, there is a native Oracle system that transfers between the on-chain smart contracts and off-chain data. Oh, don't worry if any of this is confusing to you. We've linked our complete
I gave you a follow on Twitter. Can you shoot me a message? You won't let me send you one? Yeah. I'll give you I'll shoot you a message real quick. Let's see. What do you think will happen with Doge tonight? Just my honest opinion. Say you had 1,400 Doge on Coinbase, would I convert it to Bitcoin? No, definitely not. The thing about Dogecoin is it's going to follow Bitcoin either up or down. But the thing is, Dogecoin's more volatile than Bitcoin. So if I'm trying to ride the wave up, I want to ride that wave up in Dogecoin, not in Bitcoin. Bitcoin might 2x, where Dogecoin might 3x, if you know what I mean. So yeah, definitely don't switch it to Bitcoin. If you think it's going to drop and so you don't want to ride the way down, switch it to like a stable coin like Tether or USDC or something. If you think it's going to go up and you do want to be in, you're definitely going to want to be in Doge. All right, let me unpause.
review of the project.
Don't forget, guys, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button, smash that button. By all
below
means, and
if
help
you'd
me
like
reach
to
my goal.
look
I
into
do
it more.
appreciate each and every one of your subs.
Now, in order to power the Anchor network, the Anchor utility token is used. Anchor will be used to pay for computing power to those who are providing it. Now, here is the slightly confusing part. There are actually 3 token types. Firstly, you have the ERC20 variant, which was issued on the Ethereum blockchain, as well as a BEP2 version, which was issued on the Binance chain. Then, as of July 2019, you have the native token that was issued on the mainnet launch. This is the token that is used to participate on the Anchor network. All of these token types are live, although only the ERC20 and BEP2 tokens are traded on the open market. The team hopes that this could increase liquidity, although return on investment, something that you can confirm. The largest volume is currently taking place on Binance, and there are healthy turnover levels.
He usually does a really good job explaining these coins, but this one was not one of those videos, so I'm going to need to find another one. Anchor. Hang on. What is Anchor coin? There we go. Let's see if this just spells it out for everybody. Because he kind of got into the value of it, but I didn't really get the what in the world does it do different than anything else.
Hey there, crypto fans, and welcome to Altcoin. If you're new to my channel, beginners like myself, currently ranked. I really like
a little bit of a
kind of like
reversal pattern starting to form here from Bitcoin. It's wanting to make a continuation up.
And who knows? I mean, everybody knows the cryptocurrency market and how volatile.
Right.
Utilizes shared resources in order to provide easy and affordable blockchain node hosting solutions. It was founded in November in 2017, and during its time on the market, it has built a marketplace for container-based cloud services through the usage of shared resources. This in turn provides developers and enterprise clients with the ability to easily deploy blockchain nodes at a much cheaper price when compared to public cloud providers. As such, hosting blockchain nodes on Anchor take away any centralized issues and single point of failure. Furthermore, public blockchains are able to engage in communities and provide further assistance to their networks. Anchor aims to build an infrastructure platform and marketplace for Web3 stack deployment to enable resource providers as well as end users to connect to blockchain technologies and DeFi applications. Sweet. That sounds pretty cool.
Here's the thing. I'm not a fan already. My problem is there's going to be a lot of different projects in the decentralized finance and decentralized in general space. That cryptocurrency, smart contracts, all this stuff is going to provide a ton of value in those spaces. What I like to find are the cryptocurrencies in the decentralized space that provide clear value to where I can look at that and say, wow, yes, that is absolutely going to be successful. Now, things like this, yeah, there's a high chance that it will be used by at least some different, groups of people that are looking to build some kind of blockchain network and do it in a decentralized way versus centralized way. Because basically what it's saying is they provide easy and affordable blockchain nodes, the hosting of those. So if you're looking for blockchain nodes at a cheap price, instead of going to public cloud providers, you can go and use Anchor and you can get those blockchain nodes in a decentralized manner. Cool. People that are really trying to be as decentralized as possible might use Anchor's version, Anchor's service to accomplish this. But that's not just something that's screaming at me like, man, this one's going to like 10, 15x. This is the thing I should invest in. Sure, long term, a lot of these, different cryptos that you see, we're just calling them cryptos. They might end up using this, but it's not something that's really saying to me like, this is the one. So whenever something like that looks like it might just have limited use case and it's not screaming at me like this is the one that's going to take off, I kind of just file it away. And so unfortunately for me, Anchor coin is not one that interests me. Now, if you're really into like the super, super deep technicals of stuff and you really are trying to find like your angle is not so much the ones that bring financial value, but ones that bring more like decentralized value services to people, maybe this is one that you add to your portfolio. But that's not really the angle that I'm trying to go at, because when you start getting down to this level, you have to know so much more about blockchain and all the technicals behind it to really see the value. And that's not where all of the retail consumers are going to flock because they don't understand it, which means that's not where the money's going to be. And so at the end of the day, as a trader that's in the crypto space, I'm trying to find money-making opportunities. And this one to me seems like it's going to be too hard to make money off of because not enough people are going to understand it and see the value. But it could be more valuable over time, don't get me wrong, but it's just not the kind of play that I go for. So, yeah. And so I'll move this away, and I'll start looking at the next one that you guys wanted me to take a look at, but I'll unpause the music briefly. Hope that made sense, by the way. Yeah, Ada is a great play. Cardano's a great play. Polygon's potentially a great play as well. Hey guys, don't forget, Matt's Market in the chat here. He is another small up-and-coming YouTuber that looks to be doing some crypto content, so by all means, check out what he's got going on. So, always love to. I haven't personally gotten a chance to watch his videos because, I mean, he just popped into the stream, but I'm just saying. Looks like he is doing some coverage, so feel free, you know, give his channel a check it out, see what it's all about, see if you like it. And support small YouTubers, you know? Mr. Helm says, what about Reef? Let me check out Reef. Look at Bitcoin's doing its little consolidation. How exciting. All right. While this is a great time, by the way, if any of you want me to look into your cryptocurrency of choice and let you know what I think, while Bitcoin is taking its sweet old time here, don't forget, of course, subscribe if you are not subscribed. You know, please support me in return for my work. But, yeah, I will gladly take a look. What I'm just going to do for now is kind of pause the music because I feel like I'm going to keep pausing and unpausing it. So let me just pause it for now. And so someone just asked me, what about Reef? So let's take a look at Reef because I don't know what it does yet. Yeah, absolutely, Matt. Sounds good. Yeah, thanks for hanging out as well. Appreciate that. AMP. Yeah, we'll do AMP as well because if Amanda, let me see, is Amanda still here? Amanda, are you still here in the chat? I would hate to do AMP a fifth time and Amanda not be here still. But we'll do AMP. All right, let me do Reef, then we'll do AMP. FPF says, do you see long-term chart? Looks like reverse head and shoulder for Doge. Let's see. No, I'm not seeing the reverse head and shoulders. I know some people were trying to find the inverse here, but I don't see it. I mean, this right here was a bit of a head and shoulders. A bit. Not very clean, but it was a bit of it. But other than that, I mean, this right here isn't really it. Going smaller time frame. Yeah, it's not there. Not quite. Awesome. Looks like Skydive subscribed to Matt. Yeah, by the way, guys, Of course, I ask for you to subscribe to my channel to support me. But if you ever see any other YouTubers that are smaller, that, you watch their videos and their streams and they're doing, they're telling you the truth and they're legit and they're being honest, support them also by subscribing. Your subscribe goes a long way. Usually people tend to gravitate to channels that already get a lot of views and that already have a lot of subscribers. So by you clicking that button, you're directly helping them continue to grow, because other people are going to see, oh, there's a lot of people that watch their content consistently. They must be reliable. They'll be more inclined to click on their videos, and then that just snowballs. So not just my channel, which of course I appreciate, but then spread that, pass it forward, and I do the same thing. Let's check out Reef.
Is a hot topic right now in the crypto space, and people have been wondering, what is refinance? How does it work? And is it a good investment? So in this video, we are going to answer
what is refinance. Let's see what this says here. The gateway to DeFi through liquidity and protocol aggregation, proprietary analytics, and multi-chain accessibility. This already sounds really complicated, which isn't surprising because it is cryptocurrency. The description says refinance is a project built on Polkadot, that's attempting to make DeFi easy by integrating multiple decentralized application protocols into one ecosystem. The governance token of the product is Reef and will be used to vote on future outcomes of the project. That's typical governance protocol. This video talks about how refinance works and whether Reef is a good investment. So yeah, let's see whether or not, let's see how it works.
Aboard the Bitcoin Express. My name is Chase. Let's get to it. Many have asked me to make a video covering refinance. So if you appreciate this video, please show your support and leave a like. It's that simple and it really helps the channel. Now back to the content. Refinance is a Polkadot project built by Denko Manchesky. And he stated the reason why they called it Reef is because they named it after a coral reef, a place where all of sea life gets together, all in one spot. And that's what he wants to do with DeFi. He wants to make it simple and easy, all in one spot. Because right now, as he states, DeFi and Ethereum is fragmented, meaning that to use all these protocols, you need to jump from one to the next, and it can get very complicated. If we go to DeFiPulse.com, we can see there are lending protocols, decentralized exchanges, derivatives, payments, and assets. And even within these categories, it can get complicated. Let's use lending. There's Maker, Aave, Compound, and so on. So a person needs to jump from protocol to protocol, and each protocol may require a different wallet, and it's going to have a different user interface. So with Reef, they're trying to get rid of this and make it super simple and easy. And this is a very important lesson when it comes to tech. Sometimes the best tech doesn't always win, but the product with the best user experience wins. And we see this, let's say, with something like iPhone. Is iPhone really the best phone? Probably not. But they have the best user experience. And we can see within the DeFi ecosystem, some of these protocols are very easy to use. Uniswap is a pretty good application, it has a good user interface. But when we look at something like Curve Finance, this thing, I'm just gonna say, is ugly. I don't know what they were trying to do here. Maybe they were trying to get that 80s look. I think if they updated it. So Reef is trying to make it simple and easy. And the first one, maybe the most important one that they're trying to solve, is the liquidity problem. You see, when you go ahead to these exchanges and you want to actually buy something, if there is not enough liquidity, you may not actually buy what you want at the price that you asked for. Or even if you're selling it, you may not sell it at the price that you asked for. So they're doing this, they're solving this by two ways. The first one is just getting rid of centralized exchanges, which is not a new problem. We've known about this for a long time. This is why DeFi exists. This is why we have Ethereum. But the one they're really trying to target is the problem of unstable liquidity on decentralized exchanges. And in the case of Ethereum, as they state, it's slow, hard to use, and has high fees. So to solve this issue, Reef is going to get its liquidity from everywhere, centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges, such as Kraken, Binance, Coinbase, AirSwap, Uniswap, and Kyber Network. And you might be sitting here wondering, how is this possible? Isn't this a Polkadot project? How is it going to interact with all of these other exchanges? And the way that they're going to do this is because Refinance is built on different smart contracts on the Polkadot blockchain, which makes it possible to access different cross-chain DeFi strategies with a single click.
That gets really complicated.
Due to the power of parachains and Polkadot, Reef will be able to interact with these other platforms, right? It is cross-chain. It will be able to interact with Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Plasm, Moonbeam, and Avalanche. And this is quite revolutionary. They will be able to get their liquidity, as mentioned, from Kraken, Binance, Coinbase, AirSwap, Uniswap, and KyberSwap. And by doing this, they are going to...
Just taking a quick look at Reef here. Reef is low market cap, so it's only 303 billion, so that's cool. Taking a look at the price action, it's actually at a good price right now as well. It's heading back down to its all-time lows. Right around this spot, it did make highs up here. Wow. It was at 5 cents at one point, and now it's at 1. So it's got 5x potential to get back to where it's already been. And then if it is actually a good product, obviously there's more room to go. Looks like May 12th crash. Okay, so this crashed because of Bitcoin. So interesting.
To solve this liquidity issue, and they're also going to get the best price. But remember, there are a lot of goals that they have here. This is a very ambitious project, maybe too ambitious, which I will explain in this video. On top of the liquidity problem that they're trying to solve, they're also trying to solve the yield problem. In DeFi, a person can take their crypto and they can go ahead and earn interest. But the problem is that right now it is highly technical and it's very hard to keep up with the best strategies, and there also are expensive gas fees. If we go to a site like DeFi Rate, we can see all of these lending rates, except a person needs to jump from platform to platform, and it can get very...
This guy's got some good websites that I need to bookmark right now. This could really help out a lot. What was that? DeFi Rate? This is why it's always good. Don't just watch me. Find some other like good channels as well.
Is that right now it is highly technical.
You will
hard to keep
always
up with the
learn
strategies, and there also
by
are
watching as many decent YouTube channels that you can find. Now, I'm not talking about the clickbaiters or the people that just tell you what you want to hear and that do so for views. Those are not the ones. But look for people. Usually sometimes they don't have a lot of followers either. But when you can tell that they're actually talking about stuff that they know what they're talking about, not trying to mislead you for views, click the subscribe button. Lending rates. This is quite the page. What you can do with this is Stockboy. What you can do with this is basically bookmark this page, and you can use this if you ever want to like lend your cryptocurrency out to other people, kind of stake it for other people to borrow it. You can figure out which exchange provides you with the best rates for the coin that you want to lend out, and then you can just go with them and have the best APR. So that is extremely useful. I don't see Doge on this list though, unfortunately. So that's a bit disappointing. They need to really get that one together. Am I missing Dogecoin? Yeah, so they don't actually have Doge up here, which is pretty disappointing. I do know, I can tell you that Gemini gives you, 7.4% APY, but it looks like Dogecoin isn't quite making it onto these lists yet. But you can see all the others. If you want to lend or borrow, what percentage rate you'd expect to either pay or get. So that's a great website. And then this other one he mentioned right here. Where's it at? DeFi Pulse, which lets you see by category the lending ones, how they're doing in order, the decentralized exchanges here, Curve Finance, Uniswap, Sushi, so on, the derivative market, the payment related ones, the assets. This is another one to bookmark. Just good stuff. Cool. That's on pause.
Protocol, and each protocol may Reef will a lot of goals that they have trying to solve. They're also trying to solve the yield problem for you. But you can still make the case here that it's fragmented because it's not all in one spot. You have to go to this liquidity provider, you need to go to that decentralized exchange, and then you need to go to Yearn Finance. But what Reef is trying to do is put this all in one spot. Remember, making it super simple and easy. The goals that they have, as I mentioned, are so ambitious. They're trying to do everything. They're even going to release a debit card where you can spend your crypto and you can earn up to 8% cash back. And if we look at their roadmap, They have a lot of promises that they're trying to keep. We're right now here in Q1 2021. And in Q2 2021, they're going to integrate smart asset management, Moonbeam
Problem with
support,
this
and
is it's extremely complicated. And like he said, they're trying to do a lot of things. And in his opinion, almost maybe too many things. And sometimes that can become a problem. Now, it's great that they're trying to accomplish many things. But like I said, it's very complicated, and it looks like they're trying to do a lot. They're trying to solve a liquidity problem, and then also a yield problem, and then also a fragmentation problem all in one program. Which, you know, A for effort, but that is a lot to be trying to do better than everybody else. Let's just watch a little bit more.
High fees. So to solve this issue, Reef is going away. We can see in crypto that sometimes the crypto space before, everything in one spot. But the problem with DeFi and smart contracts is that they're prone to hacks and bugs. Just a couple of weeks ago, we saw learned in DeFi
risks?
is no matter how many times you audit a project, there is always room for error. And while we have many projects that have been working on just maybe one or two things, they still haven't reached their goals. Now we have Refinance here trying to take literally everything in crypto, put it in one, and make it simple and easy. But at the same time, as they do this, they are making themselves prone to an attack, right? And the security is extremely important in crypto. So we're going to see what happens with Refinance. Now, I want to tell you in terms of investing into the Reef token,
Okay. I think I've heard enough. One of the problems in the crypto space is sometimes, because you got to understand what decentralization is, and it's really just taking eliminating the scenario where there's one thing, another thing, and then a middleman in the middle, just one middleman. It makes things very awkward. It makes things prone to manipulation. It puts things up in the air to where, you know, the person in the middle, they have too much power. They can be in control of a lot of things. With decentralization, usually the goal is to put as many, split it up in as many different ways as possible to completely not only to eliminate the middleman, but then with the decentralized replacement is to then split it up as many ways as you possibly can. So with Refinance trying to do everything that all these other decentralized crypto programs do and combine it into one, it kind of creates a problem, a decentralized problem again, by centralizing the solution into one program. So I don't know how well that's going to be adopted. It's kind of doing a little bit too much. It's great though that it is trying to accomplish all these things, but you see my angle for the people that are really looking for decentralized investment, they're going to be very turned off by this trying to do everything that all these different apps do in one program, because that creates a centralization problem with a decentralization program, which is counterintuitive. So in my opinion, that is not really one that is screaming at me like, "Ooh, here's a winner." But it does a lot. Don't get me wrong. It's a low market cap. If you believe in it and you think it will take off, it's only 303 billion. I'm sorry. It's only 303 million. So, I mean, right now the top leaders are in the billions. There's plenty of room for this thing to grow. So if you believe in it, by all means, invest in it. And there's high potential, you know, you could 100x, you could 1000x your profit if it does end up catching on. But for me, that's just not one that makes me feel warm and fuzzy. Let's talk about AMP. Okay, guys, we'll talk about AMP again, and then Amanda's going to come back later and say, AMP, please, and I'm going to say, well, we talked about it 5 times now, and now I already know what AMP does, but for those of you that do not know what AMP does, what I'm going to do is play a video that I thought explained it very well, and that is from the Coin Bureau. And then I will explain my angle on it as well. And I'll just skip around through his video, but subscribe to his channel as well, guys. He is very good at explaining what certain coins do. And then from that, you can watch channels like myself that explain whether or not you should probably invest in it because of where it sits in the market. But just to find the initial explanation of what does a coin do, he is a very good channel. Yeah, no problem, Michael. Absolutely. And let's cue this one up too. I want to see what he has to see. He's got 1.15 mil subscribers, so you can probably assume that at this point he's figured out what he's talking about. So let's go to his video. on AMP. Right here. This was a great video.
Satoshi's Bitcoin white paper outlined a vision for peer-to-peer electronic cash. Fast forward 12 years, and we now seem to have changed the narrative to things like store of value. Has the cryptoverse simply given up hope of crypto ever really being used as a true alternative to that dirty fiat? Or, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, can we trust that having the high ground will win out in the end? Well, the good news is that there is a project that's focusing on just this, and that would be Flexa. In the last month or so, Flexa coin has been exploding in price. So, that calls for a much-needed deep dive into the project.
What's going on, Ray? Hello again from Hawaii. Yeah, glad to have you. Hello from the United States.
Does Flexa
Welcome back
have
to
the
the stream.
potential to usher in a world where we can ditch fiat and just spend crypto?
Is AMP not on Webull? I can't find it. No. So Webull has very limited amounts of crypto, just like Robinhood does. If you want to buy AMP, you need to use one of the other exchanges like Coinbase or something.
I'm Guy, your crypto guy, and in this video,
All right, let's skip to the intro.
to kick things off,
So now he's going to go straight into the problem that Flexa is aiming to solve. And this is important, so
to let you know the problem that the chaps at Flexa are trying to solve. If you know all about that, then be my guest and save the time by skipping ahead to the rest of my analysis using the timestamps below. Alright, so I guess many of you have seen stores shutting down everywhere due to a little thing called COVID-19. Yes, it's made things tough for merchants. However, even in the best of times, things are pretty damn tricky. So what am I talking about here? Well, I am referring to things like card fraud, transaction costs, and chargebacks. To give you an idea of the scale of the problem here, you should know that card fraud losses hit around $28 billion last year alone. Chargebacks, on the other hand, account for around 0.5% of all transactions made. On top of all that, merchants are being forced to pay some pretty extortionate fees levied on them by card companies or payment providers. This usually amounts to 3 to 4% of the value of the entire transaction. So yes, be warned if you want to set up a store. It's a damn tough gig at the best of times. Even worse is the fact that smaller merchants face the biggest share of these types of losses. That's due to smaller businesses having less advanced systems and processes to detect and stop fraud or defend against chargeback disputes. So this all begs the question, are card companies and payment processors just greedy money grabbers? Well, I'm going to level with you, the likes of Visa are no vagabonds. However, when you make that card payment in a store, there sure is a messy web of stuff going on behind the scenes. You can see the settlement process for a regular US card payment right here. In short, for the merchants to get that money you've paid them via card, there is a bonkers 10-step process. So it's no wonder that payment processing fee levels are sitting at around 3 to 4%. That merchants are facing crippling fees and all of this. It turns out that having tamper-proof transactions on a blockchain is pretty handy for merchants when it comes to helping solve fraud problems. Payment processing costs can be reduced, and blockchain inherently provides native support for borderless payments. This opens up merchants to a global pool of customers without needing any additional payment infrastructure or currency exchange. Good news when it comes to reducing fees. But here's the classic chicken and egg problem. Crypto probably needs widespread merchant adoption to become a viable alternative to fiat. However, merchants are highly unlikely to want to jump through many hoops to accept it as a payment method. So, as things sit, it's probably not reasonable to expect most merchants to be willing to manage the operational and technical complexity of dealing with crypto at scale.
Amanda, welcome back. Good timing, thank goodness. Now we're looking at AMP. We're talking about what AMP is first, what the angle is, and then I'll give my opinions on whether or not I think it's going to be successful. But first, it's important to just kind of skip through this explanation of what Flexa and Amp's angle is for those that just joined that are not aware.
That's why most
this
will
is your
probably
moment.
want to use an intermediary service that's easy for them to leverage and enjoy benefits like fraud resistance and low processing fees. So, what do customers stand to gain by using crypto to pay for things? Well, do you like the idea of your bank knowing everything you spend your money on? Do you want freedom of choice? Now, I know what you're thinking. You're watching this video and shaking your head because you know there are ways to pay with crypto in stores. So, let's move on to that now. The truth is that the majority of money today is processed using legacy systems created in the 1970s. So yeah, it's certainly not as efficient as it could be. There are a plethora of different apps and crypto cards out there which theoretically allow you to spend that cryptocurrency in the real world. However, here's the deal. Most simply add another layer on top of that legacy system. Think about it. Most of these solutions require you to have a bank account, and they involve the likes of Visa and MasterCard. This all means multiple tiers of centralization. Yes, these solutions do have value, and I'm not trying to poo-poo those efforts. However, what they're trying to do is reinvent the wheel with crypto as some sort of bolt-on. Instead, maybe we should be looking at things a bit like Daenerys Targaryen and look to break that wheel with a better system. Now, I know what you're thinking. Season 8 of Game of Thrones can get in the bin. Also, since 2008, there has cryptocurrency. There are 3 major issues when it comes to their use as cash in the real world. The first.
So this is now finally kind of getting to the point. The benefits of using, like, what is Flexa Network trying to address? What are the current problems with just trying to use cryptocurrency as a method of payment without using the Flexa Network?
First is slow transaction times. Last time I checked, Bitcoin transaction times can take 20 minutes for 2 confirmations on the blockchain. Yes, I know that it is technically possible for merchants to accept 0 confirmation transactions. However, the drawback with this methodology is that it leaves merchants open to double spend attacks. Not a great thing if you're wanting to actually lower those fraud costs. Also, picture this. You're going to the local supermarket to do your weekly shop. Unfortunately, you've loaded up that shopping trolley with way too much beer. You're hoping beyond hope that your girlfriend won't notice you sneaking that beer into the flat or work it out by noticing that you spent 20 quid more than you should have done. It's now time to sidle up to the checkout and you pay with Bitcoin. If the supermarket requires 2 confirmations, you're going to have to stand there like a lemon at the checkout for about 20 minutes. Not very practical, right? So, when it comes to the practical uses of crypto for everyday payments, it really does need to be quick, and we're talking seconds. The second issue faced by crypto is consumer-facing fees. Unless you're like me and just love using crypto wherever you can, the chances are that regular consumers will not pay to use crypto as a payment method. So, yeah, those transaction fees could be an issue. Sure, many of us in crypto don't mind paying $1 or $2 for a crypto transaction. However, think about how many fiat transactions you do in a month. It's probably well over 100. Then think about how you would feel if $1 or $2 was added to each transaction. It would add up quickly and that would suck, right? The final obstacle is broad acceptance. For crypto to be widely adopted and used as cash, it probably needs to be accepted for a majority of daily expenditure. Just being honest here, folks. So, all 3 points are massive asks indeed, and the truth is that any new crypto payment network needs to meet the needs of both merchants and consumers in order to work. Now that you know the types of problems faced by merchants and the adoption of cryptocurrencies, I want to move on and explain how Flexa is trying to solve these problems. The Flexa project is basically made up of 3 main components: the SPEDN app and Flexa's ecosystem of integrated apps.
By the way, guys, if you want to see what this is about, you can download this app right now, the SPEDN app, which is almost like spin, but with the D and the N reversed. Just search it in your app store. You can download it, try it right now on the Flexa network. I've got it installed as well. Kid Wilson says 25 cents would at least be nice for Doge. Doesn't look like we can break through. Yeah, this is the whole moment of truth here. If we break through, this could be big.
The Flexa network protocol. And finally, its token that some know as Flexacoin and others know as AMP. I'll explain that later.
We'll skip
To kick things off here, I'm going to look
doesn't
at
need
the
to be talked
SPED-N app. This was created by the team at Flexa, and they of those cryptocurrencies. It's that simple. So, what's happening in the back end? It's and Zcash. So, that sounds all well and good for people like you and me. However, how is it for the merchants? Well, for merchants to accept payments via Flexa, they don't need any special hardware or software to be installed on a physical point of sales terminal. Pretty easy. To kickstart that merchant adoption, Flexa have adopted a strategy of achieving broad coverage for customers' everyday spending. That meant they focused their initial efforts in 3 categories that make up about half of all consumer spending. That would be food/dining, entertainment, and clothing. So, has that merchant adoption strategy been working? There are so to any merchant. Now, do you remember that complicated 10-step process required for merchants to...
This is when you're using a centralized bank or, someone's accepting Visa, MasterCard. This is a diagram that shows what the usual steps are. As you can see, it's pretty insane. And then you can kind of deduce why there's transaction fees where you always have to, the actual merchant will have to end up paying like a 4% transaction fee if they accept debit or credit, because it's got to go through all these different things and people have to take their money along the way.
To accept a card payment in the US? Well, the Flexa network protocol has helped streamline that into just 3 steps. On the compliance front, Flexa network protocol has been designed to adhere to data protection regulations. On the security front, Flexa has deployed end-to-end encryption. That gives the payment system resilience from attacks and other forms of surveillance or tampering. The protocol also exposes the minimum amount of information necessary to complete a transaction. So that means those late-night benders at the casino can stay private. So, are payments using Flexa instant? Well, not quite, but they only take around a second. With Flexa, there's no proprietary license or gateway required in order for developers to integrate Flexa into their app or transmit crypto transactions. Pretty true to the spirit of openness, if you ask me. It supports simple and straightforward APIs for exchange and payments. That's all possible because Flexa is not reliant on existing payment infrastructure. In terms of usefulness, well, the protocol is backwards compatible with existing point-of-sale systems and will essentially be no more without. You can think of AMP as Flexacoin 2.0. But why the switch? Well, it's fundamentally changed for Flexacoin holders. AMP may or coin is essentially what guarantees that any given Flexa network transaction will settle. That in order for the Flexa network protocol to work, a neutral collateral token was going to be required. This would help facilitate those instant crypto payments at the point-of-sale terminals. What that means is that the utility of AMP is to temporarily collateralize cryptocurrency transactions when they are waiting to be confirmed on the blockchain. In other words, Flexacoin is essentially what guarantees that any given Flexa network transaction will settle. That collateralization is required because Flexa is essentially advancing that fiat to the merchant. This is in order to achieve those 1-second payment times and complete that transaction. That's what saves you from twiddling your thumbs in a store for ages if you make a crypto payment here. Here's the deal. If the transaction is never confirmed due to malicious activities, then the AMP collateral can be liquidated to cover the fiat advance made to the merchant. So, where does this AMP collateral come from and how does it work? Honestly, this
Here's kind of the value of it, and it took a while to get here, but here we are.
Is kind of different from staking rewards for other cryptocurrencies. With AMP staking rewards, you essentially choose to support an app on the Flexa network and collateralize it. In return for using their collateral, stakers are paid a small percentage of each transaction that is processed by the app. That means that some apps may pay better rewards than others, so be sure to look into that. All that collateralization is made possible by Flexa capacity. This does two main things. It's the tool used for supplying collateral to the Flexa network and allocating it towards Flexa-enabled wallets. And secondly, it provides a real-time view of the Flexa network's capacity. What that means is that anyone can see the total value of unconfirmed transactions that the network can support. So, at the time of shooting this video, the Flexa network had a capacity to process around $30 million worth of transactions. To put that into context, that's enough capacity for that billionaire to buy this majestic super yacht right here. Oh yes, and another thing to note is that until December 2020, 2.5 million amp per day will be allocated towards network rewards to incentivize the growth of supply capacity. Now, let's move on to the tokenomics of AMP, shall we? So, AMP has a circulating supply of 29 billion. Hot Flexa integrated app, you'll receive 100% of the network enabled by the collateral. Then you can see that right here. Tokens per year, the more AMP collateral is required to service that increase. My final thoughts. In my humble opinion, Flexa is certainly trying to solve one of crypto's major problems when it comes to merchant.
This might be
Unique
about it
insights.
For us. Yeah. All right. So I could have probably skipped through that a little better, but I did not. So apologies. But anyway, point being, Flexacoin really tries to position itself as the bridge between where we're at now in cryptocurrency to where we would need to be to allow retail locations to Byron. Oh, did I forget to even tweet out that I was live? I might have. So that was probably my fault. But I don't know why the notifications are lacking. Let me check on that. But the thing with the Flexa network, it, like he said, it aims to solve a problem that we have right now in the cryptocurrency space, which is how do we successfully use our cryptocurrencies of choice for retail transactions. We know that the goal is to start using cryptocurrency over having to use our money via centralized banks, like most of us have bank accounts right now. The goal would be to kind of switch that over to crypto. There's many benefits to using cryptocurrency and decentralized exchanges. Including lower transaction fees, more capabilities, and all that stuff, and really us putting the responsibility back into our own hands and the control. But then paying with these things, paying with Bitcoin, paying with Ethereum, paying with Litecoin, paying with whatever you want to pay with, there's still a lot of problems that have gone unsolved up to this point. One of the main ones being, how does the merchant easily accept your payment without having to invest in new equipment and updating their whole infrastructure. And then on top of that, how can they remain secure and without getting exposed to potential fraudulent activity without, with also having to deal with the insanely high transaction times that currently that plague cryptocurrency right now. So like he said towards the beginning of that video, one of the main problems with cryptocurrency is how long transactions actually take after they've been initialized to hit the blockchain and be verified and then get the response back that everything checked out and was good. Usually when you go to a place to buy something, sell something, if you use your credit card, you know how you have, let's just say your debit card or your credit card is a chip card, and you insert the chip card, it verifies all of that usually within a couple seconds, maybe 5 seconds or so, and then it'll say approved. With something like Bitcoin, for example, let's just say Bitcoin is your main cryptocurrency of choice that you use. If you want to go and purchase something in person with Bitcoin, that's not the way it works. That transaction has to hit the blockchain. That whole transaction has to be mined, verified by all the miners, and be put in a block and be verified as everything checked out on both ends and we're good. To get that whole process, and that's an overly simplified explanation, by the way, but to go through that whole process and then get an approved signal back, approved result back, it could take 20 minutes. So 5 seconds with a credit or debit card, 20 minutes if you're in store trying to pay with Bitcoin. That's never going to work. Can you imagine the lines that would end up developing in like your local Best Buy or Walmart if everybody had to wait 20 minutes for their payment to go through? Yeah, it's not reasonable and it's it's not even something that you'd really consider. So, and the thing is too, if you try to avoid some of the security measures and you say, well, we won't wait for the blockchain confirmations that your transaction's been approved, we'll just take it and then we'll hope that we get it later, that exposes the person or the merchant to potential fraud because they don't get the secure approved message back from the blockchain. So they're just approving your transaction in advance and then hoping they get it approved back. And then what if they don't? You've already left the store. What happens then? They're screwed. So all of those problems plague cryptocurrency today and make crypto not viable. A lot of the cryptos not viable in their current state for retail transactions in person. The Flexa network comes in by basically becoming this decentralized middleman platform. So instead of a bank, you get this decentralized middleman that basically collateralizes and approves the transaction on your behalf and also kind of functions as the insurance policy for that transaction that they approved before the okay was given from the blockchain confirmation. So let's just say, for example, you want to pay with Bitcoin. You load your Bitcoin up onto the Flexa network, the middleman at this point, the decentralized middleman platform. You load it up onto there. You go to a place that can accept payments via Flexa, and then you initialize that transaction. The merchant automatically gets an approved signal as soon as you go to pay, just like they would with a credit or debit card, even though the blockchain has not yet said that this transaction was secure and approved. So basically, the Flexa network ends up just tentatively approving that transaction on your behalf in hopes that everything does check out. If for some reason the transaction does not check out, then the Flexa network ends up biting the bullet and taking care of that. So you get the convenience of quick transactions, which lets you feel comfortable using it in retail. The merchant gets the security of knowing that though this was approved instantly, the Flexa network is basically giving them in advance, like the money in advance, and just saying, all right, you guys are both set. You can now leave the store. Merchant, here's your money, and we're going to go ahead and just wait for that transaction to go through and be approved. Now, if it is approved, what ends up happening is the Flexa network makes profit off of that transaction fee. So each time that everything goes perfectly well, transaction fees are secured, and that's how the people that have staked to collateralize, that's how they end up making their money. But in the event that the Flexa network approves the transaction on your behalf, gives the merchant the money, waits for the response back from the blockchain, and the blockchain says, no, not verified, this transaction's fraudulent, and basically it got declined when they already approved it and paid out, what ends up happening is the Flexa network bites the bullet, and with that collateral pool, they end up funding the loss from that. So basically, the people that were staking their AMP coin to provide that collateral basically end up coming out of pocket to pay for that fraudulent transaction that the merchant was already paid for in advance. But the whole thing about this concept is what ends up happening, it should be secure because from the Flexa app's point of view, it should already know how much coin that you have available. So the chance of a fraudulent transaction actually being initiated and going, even getting to the point of being able to start at a retail location, it should be extremely low because what you have to do, like I said, is load your funds onto the Flexa app first, and then you initiate the transaction. So the chance of that going wrong is very low. And I think so far, no transactions have actually been declined as far as what I had read, but that could have been old data. But in the case that there is fraudulent activity and they've already approved it, it just comes out of the staking pool, the collateral pool from all the people that bought AMP coin and then reinvested it back in to provide that collateral. So basically, to sum that up, in exchange for buying the AMP coin and then staking it, you then get staking rewards, which you get per transaction that you've been helping provide that insurance on. But then if something does go wrong, it does come back out of, your staking. And so that's how they end up providing that insurance between the retail person and the merchant. And then the benefit for the ones that stake is, as you can assume, like I just explained, the chance of fraudulent activity actually successfully being initiated is very low. So the ones that stake can really expect the profits to largely outweigh the losses from a fraudulent transaction that happens here or there. So that's really how AMP coin and the Flexa network works. As you can imagine, though, it makes it it puts the Flexa network and the AMP coin in a really, really good spot because it does solve a problem that we have today. Now, like I said, you can already download one of the apps on the Flexa network called Spedin, Spedn, if you want to give it a try and see what it's all about. I already did, and I have tried it out already. There's a couple problems with it right now. You can tell it's very, very, very early. So one of the reasons I say that is because when you go to pay, basically it gives you this kind of unique QR code to pay with. And it can only be used by the places that have already figured out how to accept Flexa as payment. All right. And so as you can see from this list here, once it focuses, you can see there's not a very long list. It's only probably 15 places. Let me read these off. Baskin Robbins, Bed Bath & Beyond, Express, Famous Footwear, Hot Topic, Lowe's, Nordstrom Rack, Office Depot and Office Max, Petco, Regal, which should be for movie theaters, the Spedin Shop, which is probably their online store of some sort, and then Ulta and Bye Bye Baby. So if you don't really go to any of those places consistently, the Flexa app, the Spedin app at this point in time isn't going to provide you with very much value because you're not able to spend anything you deposit onto the Spedin app at any other locations because they have not yet set up the acceptance of it. So it is early on, which means there's room for this to grow. On top of that, the other problem that I see with so far with this is the Spedin app that was built on top of the Flexa network is one way only. So you can deposit your coin onto this app that you want to spend in store, but you cannot take it off unless you spend it. There is no withdrawal option. So if you do want to give this a try, for example, I only put a small amount. I put about $30 worth of Doge on here. And once it's on here, you cannot take it back off. So do not, if you want to test it out, do not put anything on here that you want to see back in your exchange at some point because you cannot take it back off. The only way to use it is to spend it. And if you don't go to any of the stores that are listed to shop, it is stuck on there until further notice. Only way to use it is to spend it. But other than that, what it does is it lets you actually spend your cryptocurrency at places that accept Flexa, the Flexa network. So it solves a problem that is an actual problem in the crypto space right now for retail transactions. And it allows you to pay for things with your coins that normally would not be able to be accepted places because fundamentally they're not set up to be good for retail transactions like Bitcoin. Like they said, the approval time would be 20 minutes. So normally paying in store with Bitcoin is not going to be something that's really possible. It wouldn't make sense. But the Flexa network automatically approves the transaction and they handle the stuff in between to make it reasonable at that point and let you actually pull that off. So for that reason, I think the Flexa network is great. And by extension, the AMP coin is probably something that's really good to start looking into. Right now, it's only about 5 cents. Now, the price per coin, don't get misled by the way that they price things. All that matters at the end of the day is the market cap, which is price per coin versus how many coins are actually in circulation. The price of the coin without how many coins are in circulation means nothing. And when people take coins and they price them super, super, super cheap, like SHIB, that's their way of really baiting people in that get baited by the price of a cheap coin. Because you see here, SHIB is only, 8,000 Satoshi, so many zeros in front of it. What if it hits 1 cent? But then look at how many coins are in circulation. What is that, like 394 trillion? And it started off with 1 quadrillion, whereas most market-leading coins only have a couple billion. So, yeah, that is just a bait. There's not much more room for coins like this to go. Though it's this cheap, it's already in the top 30. So just put everything in perspective. So 5 cents for AMP coin doesn't necessarily mean anything until you multiply that by the circulating supply, which gives you the market cap, and you can see it's pretty low, which is nice at 2.5 billion. Something like Dogecoin at this moment is about 30 billion. So if you just say that the price of an AMP coin one day met the value of Dogecoin today, there's potential to about 15x on your investment into AMP coin. So that would be pretty neat if AMP really took off. The other thing that you need to consider is, yes, we know that AmpCoin now looks like a really good investment, like a good idea. It seems like a solid, the whole program, it's useful. It's going to provide value. It probably will catch on and continue to increase in value. So the next question is then, when you're trying to decide whether or not to invest, well, what competition does the Flexa network have? Is there anybody else that's trying to do the same thing? And if there is, does that competition do what Flex is trying to do and do it almost as well or do it better? So one of the easiest ways to figure that out, if you can't quite tell exactly, is to either go to DeFiPulse.com, search the category of payments, and you can see after Flexa, which is in first place by a lot here, you can see there's Tornado Cash, there's Stabilier, there's XDAI, Lightning Network, which is from Bitcoin. I don't think that one will be taking off anytime soon. And then there's Connects. So that's going to be its main competition in this space. Another thing you can usually do if you don't have this website is go on YouTube and just start typing the coin of choice. So let's just say AMP or Flexa versus. And then usually what will end up happening is you start seeing potential competitors based off what other people have already searched. So Flexa versus Bitpay, Flexa versus Ripple, Flexa versus Square, PayPal, Polygon, XRP. So you can see these are probably what the competition is. And then you can just start clicking on those and trying to see what you can figure out and kind of go down the rabbit hole. After you click on one of those, you'll probably get in your recommendations another hint towards potential competition. And so that's usually how I end up doing my research and figuring things out the easiest way. There is competition, though. There is competition. You've got things like Bitpay that already angle themselves to allow you to spend your crypto in person, so it's probably a good idea to look into that. I think the main difference would be decentralization. I think Bitpay is centralized, so decentralized cryptocurrency with a centralized exchange, a lot of people don't like that. So I guess that's where Flexa Network comes in. But if you didn't care about that, there is competition. You do have also PayPal starting to come up with cryptocurrency acceptance. Square, I believe, as well. Ripple might be an interesting one to click on. I'm surprised there's no video on Flexa versus Bitpay. So what we can do now is actually look at, for anybody that doesn't know, well, basically, what is Bitpay? How does it work? And then do a manual comparison to what we just found out. And that will tell us, that'll answer our question there. But Bitpay, I don't think is on, it's not on, it's not like a crypto. So it's not going to be competition in that way anyway for AMP. So going back to DeFi Pulse, looks like Tornado Cash. Let's see. I've actually never heard of that before. So, oh, Torn. Okay, I have seen that actually. And we can look up Torn as well, just in case you want to know about the next competition. So let's do Tornado Cash, and let's prepare that. Hopefully that helped answer some questions for you guys. Flexa Network is great. It does definitely need to be accepted more places, though. But other than that, it's a great concept, and you might even want to consider starting to buy some coins and then staking them and providing that collateral, just so you can start to earn rewards for providing that insurance. Yeah, no problem, Doge Landon. Hopefully that answered your question. Yeah, Derjoy, absolutely. And thank you for subscribing as well. I appreciate that. Now, here's the thing. I know my subscriber count has not moved, and it also says most recent subscriber was Angel. But if your account settings are private to where they don't notify like the YouTube or anything about when you subscribe to them, it won't ding on the screen, and it won't update that thing there. But I do see on my account that you did subscribe. I saw the number change. So thank you so much to not just you, Derjoy, but anyone else here that has subscribed but didn't see the notification go off. I appreciate every one of you for supporting the channel. And also, Doge Landon, if you haven't already, consider clicking subscribe if you find any of this information useful. Thank you for supporting me. Docky, what's going on? Welcome back. Yo, my guy, how's it going? It's going good. Basically what we're doing, we're watching Doge and Bitcoin, seeing if we're going to break out here. Like I said yesterday, I did want to make this a nice long stream, like a Q&A type stream, and also just like a chill stream, listen to music, learn more about altcoins, because we do need to diversify at some point. I don't care if you're a Bitcoin fanatic, a Dogecoin fanatic like most of us here, Ethereum fanatic, Cardano, whatever. Regardless, it is very wise to start learning about the other coins in the space, because not just like we've seen over the last couple weeks, your coin of choice might not be a moneymaker for a long period of time. It could just be trading sideways. During that period of time, if you want to be more active in the market and you want to look for more money-making opportunities, it pays to be informed and know where you can potentially go next. So by doing this research in advance, especially while Bitcoin's crashed and everything's at a discount, because once Bitcoin recovers, everything's going to double in price. Everything that's reputable will double or triple in price. So you'll miss out on a lot of money-making opportunities by not doing your research now. So that's kind of what these streams are for. The lowest you've seen volume-wise in months, yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. But we are still seeing, despite low volume, Bitcoin reversing and following the Wyckoff pattern so far. So that is interesting. And if we continue to, if we break above here and continue to show signs, we might see a random spike in volume, and we might see some institutional buy-ins as well. So just we're kind of keeping on guard here, because we could get thrown for a loop. But good catch on the low volume. So now let's take a brief moment and let's look at Tornado Cash, which is supposed to be Flexa Network's main competitor. And let's not watch a long video. Let's just skip through this
welcome
guy.
Back. I'm really excited today to bring you a video about
Don't forget, always
Tornado
click the
Cash.
like button
Now, Tornado
on
is
my
one of
stream
my
and
favorite
other people's
projects.
videos.
I think as we get into it, you'll see why it's so innovative and why it helps you maintain your privacy when transacting on Ethereum. Now, I do encourage you to stay tuned because I'm going to show you a real
Okay,
here. Tornado Cash is a platform that allows.
All right, so here's the thing behind it. Tornado Cash, a fully decentralized protocol for private transactions on Ethereum. Very specific to Ethereum. That is also something I don't like, because that limits you to Ethereum-only currency. So, for example, Dogecoin is not yet related to Ethereum in any kind of way. That means with Tornado Cash, you're not going to be able to do anything with Dogecoin. So that's a problem already. That makes me not like this. But the concept deposit, user generates a random key, deposits ETH or anything ERC20, along with submitting a hash of the note. After depositing, users should wait some amount of time for the withdrawal to improve their privacy. Weird. User submits proof of having the valid key to one of the notes. Okay, I don't like this at all. So, yeah, looks like Flex is kind of in a league of its own right now. Let's just check Sablier. Let's duplicate this so I don't lose my place there. And make sure it's not good competition. The money streaming DeFi payment service. Let's take a look at that.
Hey everyone, and welcome.
This is what you should be doing. Learn about the coin you're interested in. Figure out where it stands market cap wise, how much potential room it has to grow. One of the ways to do that, go to coinmarketcap.com, look at your coin of choice's current market cap, compare that to its competition in the space. But that means also, after you've done your research on your coin or your crypto, figure out what the competition is, and then start researching those, see if it sounds better or worse. If there are any that are better and you think that your coin might catch up, compare your coin's market cap to the market cap of the coins that are better, that are in the same space. That tells you, like, if your coin gets better and reaches the value of the other coin that's the competition, that, just do the math of where the market cap is now to where the other better coins are already at. That tells you, like, where you can reasonably expect to grow to. So, for example, if Tornado Cash is 34 million market cap, but Flexa Network was 300 million, that tells you if Tornado Cash increases in value in its use case and its market cap, and it gets just as good as Flexa, the market cap could 10x to 300 million, which would then match it with Flexa. So that gives you a very reasonable way to figure out what your expectations should be.
Today's video, I'm excited to show a crypto.
How do I feel about SafeMoon? I really do not like any of the safe coins at all. There are too many of them, and that's my problem. Now, the thing I'm also not interested in, which gives me a little bit of bias towards not liking them, and when it comes to price predictions, I'm not biased. But when it comes to what I like and don't like, it's impossible not to be biased, because that's opinion-based, right? But I do not like any of the cryptocurrencies that are just for saving, holding, and they promise that the value is going to go up over time. Reason being that market, not only was it created as somewhat of a bait to play off of the Dogecoin hype. Because what ended up happening was you had the Dogecoin extreme hype run up, the pumps that were happening from Elon Musk, and then the SNL event. As soon as that happened and the market started crashing, and everybody wanted to know what's the next crazy way to make money if I missed out on that, you started having half the people just go into the stock market and start trading and pumping meme stocks. You had the rest of the people go and start chasing altcoins that were very, very cheaply priced, low market cap, and trying to pump those and naming them after Dogecoin, like Shiba Inu, Safe Doge, Baby Doge, all of these different things, and so on and so forth. Australian Safe Shepherd, whatever. And then you had all these other kind of cryptocurrencies that were created that guaranteed people that, yeah, we know you want to pump, you want to buy low and the price go to the moon, and what we're going to do is we're going to fabricate a cryptocurrency with rules that will guarantee you a safe pump, which is exactly what Safe Moon is, safely mooning. And I just don't like any of these coins that are designed to specifically chase price value increase with no fundamental use case. What that means is that if the hype ever wears off, and if people ever get bored with those concepts, there's no value behind it other than the way they set it up, hoping that it would continue to increase in price if everyone continued to play the game, kind of like a pyramid scheme type thing. And one day that pyramid could collapse. So, I mean, it just doesn't have any use case other than basically we reward you for buying in, helping the price go up, and then we penalize you for selling. And it's just like a game of, well, who starts taking profit first at what point? So I just don't like those concepts. Now, if I were to do more research, fine, because I'll be honest, at the same time, I haven't done a lot of research in them because I just don't like the concept, like, gives me, my gut feeling is no. But if I were to do more research and say, this isn't actually so bad, my problem is the space is also oversaturated because so many of them have been made. So then the question always is in cryptocurrency, being that crypto is new, is all right, we've got all these different cryptocurrencies, but which ones are actually going to succeed? Because when you've got 100 or 1,000 different coins that do the exact same thing, technically, which ones stand out as unique? Those are the ones that are going to last the longest. So then you have to do research on every single one, and you just have to hope that one sets itself aside from the part to actually last the test of time. And it's just too much. I don't like that whole movement there. I would rather invest in a utility-based cryptocurrency that, like the Flexa network, like Dogecoin, like maybe XRP, or a network-based coin like Ethereum or Cardano or Polygon or Polkadot, something that seems to be useful, like actually have a use case long-term that won't just fade away if hype fades away, like it actually does something. So that's the angle I typically go in. And then you can also, you can chase pumps on coins that just haven't been noticed yet, but fundamentally have a purpose. So what that means is doing some additional research, maybe going on coinmarketcap.com, sorting by market cap, and going closer to the bottom. Maybe the instead of doing the top 10 or the top 30 or the top 50, maybe doing the bottom 50. Seeing which ones of those look good with these lower market caps that are only a couple hundred million, that aren't in the billions yet or near a trillion like Bitcoin. And look at the ones that have plenty of room to grow if people catch on to their use case and then start buying into them. I know somebody mentioned on here Sia Coin yesterday or 2 days ago. There's one that you could be looking into if you think it's good, or Nexo, which is still under a billion, or even go into the second page and start looking at the much lower market cap ones, the ones that are like 500 million and lower, seeing which one of these provide value, actual value, like Reef, which we looked at into earlier. And those will give you Cartesi. Someone mentioned that a couple days ago too. Looking into these will give you the same pump opportunity, but based off something that's actually serving a purpose, like Unidos just said, and providing value. And that way you don't end up getting ripped off. If your Moon or Rocket crypto of choice that you invested in falls because the hype wears off. These are not going to be hype-based moves. They will be usefulness-based moves, and they can still 100 or 1,000 or 10,000x, but based off fundamentals versus just kind of gambling. I'm liking and buying Ethereum. Oh, Ethereum Classic, but what do I know? Ethereum Classic's been coming up, and if people see value in that, the problem is Ethereum 2.0 is really going to take all spotlight. But Ethereum Classic has been one of the biggest movers aside from Internet Computer over the last week. So yeah, obviously it's getting some good attention. Internet Computer I don't like, but there could be room for it. So by all means, if that's something you're into, why not? But for the purpose of decentralization, which is kind of the purpose of cryptocurrency, Internet Computer tries to serve the purpose by also defeating the purpose. And that's by doing everything. It's supposed to be replacing the internet with a decentralized internet. The whole purpose of decentralized things is to take the middleman out that's constantly like identifying you and tying you to everything, and just basically in this uncontrolled but governed space that's governed in a decentralized manner, allowing you to do things that normally you couldn't do without a middleman that's tying you to everything, and that's also in charge, looking at all your information, doing what they want with your finances and information on the back end that you might not know about. Decentralization removes all of that. But Internet Computer is supposed to replace the internet as we know it today, Google, Bing, all that stuff, Yahoo, and give you like a decentralized internet to run everything off of, whether that's websites or decentralized programs. But then they tie everything. They make you create a unique identifier that goes back to you for you to operate on that Internet of Things on. So even worse than today, everything ties back directly to you. So every single thing you do and interact with is tied back to your identifier, which completely defeats the purpose of decentralization and really just seems like a takeover scheme, which kind of freaks people out more than anything. If you read the comments on any Internet Computer video, they're like, whoa, this sounds like a world domination plan via decentralization. So yeah, but you can see obviously the price is mooning. So if you don't care long term and you just want to kind of get in there and get out, it's getting a lot of attention. So there's that. A bit of it's still trying here. Bitcoin is still trying. Can't write this one off. It is still messing with the 200 EMA. It is still holding this run up here, this move it made at this next level. So we'll see what's going to happen. Now we have been streaming about 2.5 hours. I'll probably in about a half hour cut the stream, because Bitcoin, as expected yesterday, is taking its sweet old time to do this move and see if it's going to break and continue the pattern. Every time we think it's coming, it starts just trading that move out sideways and delaying it, as we can see here. Instead of just doing this and then going up, it's just sideways trading, and then it's going to decide. So if this is going to take forever, we can just come back when the next part of the move starts happening without having to kind of stare at the screen for hours. But let's take a look at Bitpay and see how that's going to compare to the Flexa network. Zaki says, true, I'm a crypto guy. And also, that's why I'm looking out to your live streams for informative stuff and detail, but I do like my stocks too. Yeah, I do both as well, but I'm more into crypto as well, so I'm with you. You're liking, yeah. What's up, Doge to the moon? Hopefully Doge to the moon. We're keeping an eye on Bitcoin to see if it's going to follow the Wyckoff pattern still. So far, it is now following it as well, like it did the move up, but it has to continue. And at this point, it's consolidating. We're waiting for the next break. It's just taking forever. So let's check out
If you own cryptocurrencies,
Bitpay.
preferably Bitcoins, at some point you will ask yourself, what's the point of having crypto in 2021 if you have to exchange it for US dollars to spend? Well, you're not completely wrong. But in today's video, we're going to walk you around a service called Bitpay.
Let's check this out.
Let's start, shall we? So, what is Bitpay? In essence, it's a service that allows users to pay for products and services with Bitcoin. It was launched in 2011, when Bitcoin was still very young in Atlanta. Despite the negligence Bitcoin saw in recent years, Bitpay saw the potential. The goal of the service is to revolutionize the finance industry along with Bitcoin and crypto to create a fast, secure, and cost-effective payment solution on a global scale. To date, Bitpay is the largest Bitcoin payment processor in the world, with many individual users and businesses relying on the service. Even though payment processing was its first mission, since the launch in 2011, the company has also created other services. But first, let's see how it works. The payment service enables businesses to accept payments in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, and send those funds directly to a bank. It allows these payments in 38 different countries settled in euros, dollars, and many other currencies. BitPay allows users to pay with Bitcoin at checkout. Then they pay the invoice to BitPay at a locked-in exchange rate. After this part of the transaction completes, BitPay uses modern technology to convert Bitcoin into fiat while protecting the customers from any volatility risks. Finally, the business will then get the direct deposit into their bank account. But why do we need another payment processing agent when our credit cards have been doing just that since forever? The first reason is that using BitPay and paying with Bitcoin allows you to keep more of your money. Credit cards take up to 3% of processing fees for every transaction processed. However, by accepting Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, businesses can get direct bank deposits in any currency for a flat rate of 1%. Another advantage of paying is protection against chargeback fraud and identity theft. These threats are always in place when using traditional payment methods like debit or credit cards. Online customers at checkout and accept bill payments across towns or borders. Businesses and customers can connect to borderless payment networks and can receive payments for any cost from any mobile or computer from anywhere in the world. BitPay has also created its own wallet called BitPay Wallet, which allows users to manage their cryptocurrencies in a single secure and open source place. With the wallet, users no longer need to keep their crypto online. It has been proven that it is much safer to keep digital assets on a wallet as they are less likely to be hacked, and no one has control over your money. With a BitPay wallet, users can keep more than just Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. The BitPay wallet enables you to buy and sell Bitcoin directly from within the wallet. You can also load and manage the BitPay card, which is accepted by all Visa merchants and is compatible with all ATMs worldwide. The BitPay card enables customers to instantly convert cryptocurrency into fiat currency, which is then loaded onto the card and can be spent anywhere MasterCard debit is accepted around the world. Customers can also use the cards online for purchases and to withdraw cash from ATMs. The BitPay wallet app supports Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ether, as well as $4 pegged stablecoins, USDC, GUSD, PAX, and BUSD. And it also has support for Apple Pay Now, which makes it extremely easy for those who do not like to carry any cards, cash, or wallets around. Finally, BitPay is an amazing service that makes it easy and reliable to get into the world of blockchain one way or another. The service is secure with continuous updates and additions to make the process seamless and attract a wide array of users. It has all the features to handle worldwide payments whilst having a secure and easy interface for beginners. I hope you found today's video informative. If so, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, no problem, Unidos. Absolutely. Josiah says, did I see the video talking about Box going up to 288,000? Was put up last night. Box? What's Box? BitPay sounds like a company to invest in. So, BitPay is not decentralized. So, it's not actually one that you can like find here. Maybe in the stock market. But yeah. That's the thing. That's the main difference between Flexa and BitPay. BitPay is still a service that interacts with like the US dollar directly, like fiat currency. Basically what it does, lets you, just like a bank-driven service, lets you put your cryptocurrency basically into like the BitPay wallet and have easy access to it through the BitPay app. But then when it's like time to pay, it converts it to fiat currency. So it's not quite as unique as the Flexa network is, which keeps everything decentralized like 100%. BitPay is kind of, you know, it's the one thing I have a problem with these currencies is it's really for people that don't care that much about decentralization, because the whole purpose of cryptocurrency is decentralized banking. Once you start using centralized programs for decentralized cryptocurrency, like if you use those programs, you truly don't care about the decentralized part that much. You're just in it for the crypto. You know what I mean? you're not here for the underlying reasons to use cryptocurrency. You're here for more of just the, maybe I've been making money on crypto, so I'm having fun trading it. Like, you're not super into the reasons why cryptocurrency exists and is used. Because in my opinion, by using something like Bitpay, you're centralizing something decentralized. Now, that doesn't mean don't use it, but I think it's always weird when a lot of these centralized banking platforms start interacting with the banking killer platform. Yeah, just for the money, not for the actual purpose of it, which is fine. You know, I don't care that much about decentralization personally. I don't have anything to hide. I don't care that much about the middleman. I care about convenience. I don't care when people take their fees, as long as they're not through the roof. I don't give a crap. You know, I'm trying to buy, I'm trying to sell, I want it to be easy and simple. I don't really care that much about centralized versus decentralized. So me personally, BitPay, Flexa network, I don't care. But people that are, you know, the whole reason behind cryptocurrency is for decentralized banking. So I still think it's interesting when you get centralized decentralization platforms. Create a problem long term. Right. May sound like a stupid question. Go for it. Now, I am going to download BitPay because I am pretty sure. So, like, for example, Newegg.com accepts BitPay, and you can actually pay with Doge through BitPay. I think, yeah, this was in April. A lot has happened since then. So, on BitPay, you can now use Dogecoin. So, I would love to do some more testing on that because, again, like I said, me personally, I don't care that much about fully decentralized everything. I'm into Doge because I like Dogecoin, and I'm into crypto because I like crypto, but it doesn't really have to do with the, I don't have anything against banks per se. Turn crypto into dollars using our BitPay card. Okay. Spend crypto at your favorite places. Leverage multi-factor security. Control your money without an account. Websites and exchanges get hacked. BitPay allows you to privately store and manage user crypto funds without having to trust a centralized bank or exchange. Oh, okay. So maybe they are partially decentralized. Well, let's see what this is all about before I continue speaking on it. Let's click start. And I'll show what's happening here. I just don't want to expose any of my information. So, okay. First thing I set up just by scanning my fingerprint. And then it's saying select currencies. And as you can see here, Dogecoin is one of the currencies that you can toggle on. So that is toggled. You get Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, XRP, and Doge. And let's toggle on USDC as well, because that's what I'll be trading back to. I don't care about Dogecoin. All right. Add encryption. I won't do it right now. Okay, maybe I will. Basically, just create a password. I'll do this later. I understand that my funds are held and controlled securely on this device, not by a company. Okay. BitPay cannot recover your funds for you if you lose your recovery key. Okay, so this does seem pretty decentralized to an extent. I've read, understood, yes. You can easily connect with Coinbase. That's cool. Add funds from an existing wallet. Buy crypto with a credit card. I'll do this later. I just want to see what this is all about. This is actually pretty neat. Layout looks very similar to Coinbase. Oh, is it owned by Coinbase? Because that would explain why the UI looks almost exactly the same. Like, exact. BitPay. Why can't I find a quick answer? Who owns BitPay? Oh, so they're not the same? Well, that's weird. BAT is cool. All right, let me check out BAT as well. China with a nationalized crypto, US working on one. Yeah, the Fed coin, hard to say what's going to happen unless my understanding is all wrong. Yeah, so cryptocurrency is very up in the air. That's why when people ask, like, what is your projection for Dogecoin within the next 3 years? I'm like, I have no idea. No one can give you any projection on any coin of any sort 3 years out. The only coin you can look to do a projection on that far out is Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has a price target roadmap, and it's in its code for it to hit those price targets over time. It's literally just how the coin was crafted to hit certain prices by certain points. If you just do the math, you can figure out when that is. Every other cryptocurrency is reliant on Bitcoin success, number one, and then on top of that, it's reliant on the success of the coin and kind of being number one in its space. What happens with cryptocurrency, with competition that comes up in each coin's category and everything 3 years out from now, is impossible to predict. Cryptocurrency is way too new to be looking out 3 years and saying, like, Ethereum will be $22,000. No, Ethereum might be number 3. Cardano network could end up being number 1, and then some coin that is currently like 250 market cap could be number 2. And Ethereum could be third place. No one cares about Ethereum anymore. Now Ethereum is losing value and is back to like $500 per coin. We have no idea what's going to happen that far out. So anybody that tries to tell you, scammer. Unsubscribe from them. Just some advice. Crypto is sounding like feudalism times, where every landlord has a coin with their face. Yeah. It's going to, and a lot of these coins are not going to survive. The market is becoming oversaturated as everyone's very excited about everything crypto, and they're like, ooh, I can probably make money with anything I do. Short term, that could be true, but there will be a correction as the hype wears off, just like in the stock market, how you can't just invest in everything and expect everything to be profitable. Maybe once the stock market first went live digitally, electronically, maybe there was a bull run then on everything while everybody had much easier access and there was hype there. But once everything stabilizes, everyone gets used to cryptocurrency, everyone starts figuring out that not every cryptocurrency is going to the moon, and things really stabilize, there will be a correction and people will end up losing a lot of money. It hit 1.65. Let me check it out. The new Google sounds like Internet Computer then. But could I lose my coins if the rate went to 0 and my coins are still just on Coinbase and not in a wallet? The rate for what? No movement in the last 2 hours, 40 minutes since I started streaming. Yeah, Michael. This was my concern, and that's why I said, you know what? About 10 minutes, I'll probably wrap up stream, because it looks like Bitcoin's doing what I hoped it wouldn't do, which is start showing some signs of we're going to make the next move now, but then just trade sideways and stall it out. So I still think there will be the next move up, but it's just looking like it's going to take a while to do it. So we might have to come back either later tonight or on the stream tomorrow. So Justin, just to kind of neutrally answer your question, regardless of what currency it is, you hold your coins no matter what the value becomes. Now, if that currency goes to 0 per coin, that's probably because the company's gone bankrupt, and so the coin no longer holds value. Typically, at that point, your coins are just going to be worth absolutely nothing, whether or not you still have the coins or not. So, $0 value per coin, it's going to be useless to you whether or not you have the $0 per coin technically in your wallet still, or if they take it out your account and just say you don't have any. No, because there's not going to be any way to buy or sell if the company goes under. But technically, I don't know how that would work. If it still says you have 100 Dogecoins worth $0.00, if Dogecoin became irrelevant. but you wouldn't be able to interact with it anymore, so it wouldn't really matter too much. Is Dogecoin going to be able to hit $20? Probably not. So again, remember what I was saying about potential for coins, looking at market cap and looking at market caps in the space that that coin tries to fill? That's very important, and that's what a lot of other YouTubers and people that cover coins that are just trying to overhype them and pump them, that's the part that they don't get into, and it's being reasonable. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that stream and make content for views only and not just for, to be realistic. My whole goal is to be realistic and share realistic thoughts with everyone, because everyone should be able to feel comfortable looking for ways to make money without being told and given false promises, false hopes, and things that don't really make sense. So when you go to something like DeFi Pulse, as you can see here, it categorizes crypto. All the cryptos you see on crypto on coinmarket.com categorizes them by what category do they belong to. Are they in the lending category? Are they in the decentralized exchange category like Uniswap, SushiSwap? Are they derivatives of something? Are they for processing payments, retail payments? Are they just assets? So on and so forth. There's a lot of different categories, as you can see here: retail, health, e-commerce, nodes, decentralized exchange, real estate, insurance, research, analytics, so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, it really just, you have to know what category you're comparing your cryptocurrency to see what its potential is. When you just look at the top 10, you see Bitcoin. What category would that be in? Kind of like a store value category. Ethereum, what category is that in? Well, it's like a network, the network category, providing a network for other decentralized apps to run on top of. So you've got Ethereum, you've got Cardano, and then you've got some of the things that run on top of Ethereum that provide even more network capability, which is the layer 2 solution category. So you've got like the Polkadot, like the Polygon, etc. Then what else do you have? Tether, which is a stable coin. That's going to stay the same in value. Binance Coin, what is that for? They're, the Binance network. Dogecoin, what is that for? That's in the retail category for buying and selling and transacting. XRP, what is that for? Same thing, buying, selling, and transacting. So you could say XRP's Dogecoin's competition. USD coin, what is that? Stable coin, just like Tether. Polkadot, Layer 2, Uniswap, Exchange. You have to know the categories of the things that you're looking at to figure out what the competition is. So when you're looking at something like Dogecoin, for example, what's Dogecoin's competition? What is higher than Dogecoin that's in the same category? Well, nothing. There's nothing over Dogecoin in the retail coin category. So you could say that Dogecoin is number one at this point when it comes to a coin to transact with, to buy and sell things with only. In that focus space, it's just Dogecoin. So then you have to say, well, where can Dogecoin go? Maybe not just on category, but what levels up can it go to? The easiest way to think about this is, what value does Bitcoin hold to give it the market cap it has? What does it do to make it that special? What value does Ethereum have to make it this special, to make it worth $258 billion? And is Dogecoin that special with what it does to match its value to the specialness of one of these? So Ethereum, let's just take Ethereum for example. Ethereum is an exceptional investment opportunity. Why? Well, the Ethereum coin, as some might think of it, it's not just a coin like Dogecoin is. Ethereum is the Ethereum network. What it does is it is extremely complicated and advanced and extremely large, and the easiest way to think about it is a lot of cryptocurrencies like Dogecoin, they're vehicles, but Ethereum is the network. It's the highway that the vehicles drive on, that hosts the vehicles, that allows them to run and to be successful. So instead of thinking small scale like Dogecoin, XRP, you think Ethereum, and you're thinking of the actual network for something like Dogecoin to run on top of, something like XRP to run on top of. It provides that. So Ethereum naturally is going to be the big dog. If you want something to be more valuable than Ethereum, which is providing the network service to all these smaller coins, it's going to have to do something exceptionally well to pass its value, because this is the whole host right here. Now, as you know, Dogecoin doesn't run on Ethereum at this time, but you see the point I'm getting at here. So for Dogecoin's market cap to be the same, Dogecoin's value as a retail coin would have to be just as much as Ethereum's value as a network for coins to run on top of. So that's going to take a lot. Bitcoin had a massive head start, and it's a deflationary token, which gives it increased value. And it's also in its code, in the contract, like the smart contract that basically you could say Bitcoin is executing at all given times for over time, the coin to be harder and harder to mine, more difficult to find the next one. And it's kind of like digital gold in that the more it's not a renewable resource, there's a limited supply. The more of it you find, the less of it that there is left. And also the harder it becomes to find the remaining supply. So Bitcoin is just made to increase exponentially in value over time. It's going to be almost impossible for any other coin to catch up. But the next closest thing in value is Ethereum, being that it provides so much value to the whole cryptocurrency space. Dogecoin, on the other hand, other than it being relatively decent when it comes to transaction fees and speeds, it doesn't provide any value to any other cryptocurrency. It is not a network coin. It also does not support smart contracts, which doesn't let you do anything fancy with it at this given time. Dogecoin is just something that we like as people, as humans. We love Dogecoin. We want to use it as currency. We want to assign it value so that we can buy things with it and sell things and get Dogecoin in exchange for that, which means that fundamentally Dogecoin doesn't really do anything. We just have given it value as a retail currency, just like the US dollar. US dollar doesn't do anything special. It just is what it is. So for that reason, could you say that Dogecoin in its current state is right now worth more than Ethereum or as much? Probably not. But as Dogecoin gets better in its space, as Dogecoin's transaction fees get reduced, as Dogecoin's transaction speeds get better, and it becomes even better at being a retail coin in the retail space, its value will continue to improve. Also, as a retail coin, the most important factor with a retail currency is people accepting that thing as currency. For example, consider an arcade token. At the arcade, your token has value. Go down to your local Walmart or something and try and start trying to pay people or the cashier for arcade tokens. At the arcade, they're worth like $1 each or 50 cents. Does Walmart want do they accept arcade tokens? No. Do they want it? Why? Because they haven't assigned your arcade token any value. So that's kind of like what Dogecoin is basically. It started off as an arcade token, and now people are saying, wait, we'll accept arcade tokens as payment. And we'll kind of give it the value that it's starting to accumulate. We'll say a Dogecoin is worth about 50 cents USD. Or we'll say that a Dogecoin is worth $1. Like, we'll do that. The more and more people that say that they'll accept Dogecoin as currency, the more established it becomes and useful it becomes in the retail space, and the more its market cap will go up because its value intrinsically will increase as it becomes actually useful for something. That's Dogecoin's main catalyst, people accepting it and making it accepted currency. The more people that accept it as currency, the higher the price will go as it becomes more valuable to more people. So for that reason, long story short, though that's great and all, it's still going to take a lot, especially anytime soon, until Dogecoin really gets its couple updates that are coming and then much wider spread adoption. It's going to get hard to pass Ethereum's value because Ethereum fundamentally is just much more than a Dogecoin is. So you can say that, though that being said, Dogecoin is probably, Tether and Binance Coin don't even really count. So let's just say Dogecoin, we already know it's probably better than those two. Just because of the market crash and they're stable, they tend to be higher. Cardano, though, it's rivaling Ethereum network, but it's not there yet. So maybe Cardano could be close to Doge, but let's just say Dogecoin, once Doge gets some more adoption, Dogecoin will have a little bit of a head start over Cardano with what Cardano's trying to do to Ethereum. So let's just say Dogecoin could be, Bitcoin's obviously number one, Ethereum number two at the moment, with potential to take the spot later, but we'll see. And then Dogecoin is kind of the third most useful to us coin that exists. So let's just say Dogecoin's market cap should be number 3. In order to remain number 3 and respect Ethereum, being that we shouldn't be worth more than it, we can say that Dogecoin's market cap has room up to about 250 billion while still remaining third place. So then the math you have to do is, well, that being said, if let's just say the market cap went up to 250 billion, which keeps it in third place, but also gets it kind of close to Ethereum, what price per coin would that mean Dogecoin was at that moment? And at this point, you can get a reasonable ceiling without just saying Dogecoin to $50 by next year, like a lot of people love to do on their videos and streams for no reason whatsoever when it doesn't make sense. Easiest way to do that, we know market cap is circulating supply times price of coin. So what you can do is divide market cap to go and reverse the process, do Ethereum market cap divided by Dogecoin circulating supply, and get the price that the coin would be at each to reach that market cap. So in this situation, let's just say 250 billion flat, almost flat. We'll just change these out to zeros and we'll leave the rest because that part doesn't matter too much. And we'll divide that by Dogecoin circulating supply. So how many coins are in existence right now? How many coins do people, are people holding that are in circulation? And now we'll see a price. Dogecoin can reasonably, without passing Ethereum, get up to about $1.90 as of this moment. What does that actually mean? Well, when you look at the price of Ethereum, don't forget we are in a market crash as well due to Bitcoin. Everything is almost cut in half. So once Ethereum recovers, we know Ethereum before the market crash driven by Bitcoin was at $4,380 per ETH. Let me confirm. 4,380, correct. So to get the market cap that Ethereum is going to go back to when Bitcoin recovers, let's do price times circulating supply of Ethereum. So Ethereum circulating supply times 4,383 dollars. So that means market cap of Ethereum will go from 258 billion back up to the $510 billion it was at before the market crash, which means then if you want to see once the market recovers, what is potential for Dogecoin to max out at once Bitcoin gets back to like 60 to 65,000, which brings Ethereum back up to 4,300, which brings Dogecoin back up to like where it belongs. And let's just say all things at that moment go good for Dogecoin, and Dogecoin can hit its max value. So we get Dogecoin for Tesla announcement, we get Dogecoin for Amazon announcement, we get widespread adoption around the United States, and people in other countries as well start accepting it, and Dogecoin is starting to reach its full potential as we get all these catalysts. Where could Dogecoin end up at that point while still remaining in third place to get close to Ethereum value while still respecting the fact that even at that point, it's probably third most useful coin and not passing Ethereum's market cap? It's going to be still about $3, and we'll just say 50 cents because this is almost tying it exactly with Ethereum. So if Ethereum were to get back to about about $4,000, Dogecoin could reach about $3.50 without passing Ethereum's market cap and respecting the third place slot. So there's that. So to answer your question, is Dogecoin able to hit $20? Reasonably, the answer is no, not anytime soon. I know that was a bit of a lengthy explanation, and I did make a video on that. If you didn't understand it, just go back a couple weeks. I have like 2 videos on understanding market cap, how to find potential value. Okay, and this is if everything goes well for Dogecoin, by the way. Like I said, all catalysts fall into place. Dogecoin continues to succeed. We continue to have Doge Army. Dogecoin continues to snowball with the backing that it has, and it really holds itself and holds its own and remains in that third place spot and starts coming for Ethereum. Now, if Dogecoin does not start coming for Ethereum market cap wise, once Ethereum's at like 500 billion, maybe Dogecoin's at like, 200 billion or so, 250, something like that. Then, obviously you can just kind of cut that price in half. Dogecoin will be closer to like $1.50 to $2, $1.50 to $2.50, while still being a good bit behind Ethereum at the time. That's reasonable price predictions for Doge. Anywhere from easily $1 up to about $2-ish and some change As you start getting to close to $3 and beyond, you start rivaling Ethereum network, which means Dogecoin at that point should be pretty much near its maximum potential to be really rivaling something as useful as Ethereum's whole network. Hope that made sense. Don't forget, guys, if you're enjoying this content, to help support me just by clicking that subscribe button. I don't ask for money or anything, but I do ask for your support via subscribing to the channel. And that way you can catch the next pieces of information via my live streams and videos. That's all. Thank you for your support. Right, what Doge was saying. Yep, Doge landed correct. Ryan says, come back for another stream tonight. I will if something worth streaming for is happening. But again, this was already kind of the long stream. I don't want to take too much of people's time, including, you know, my wife's time as well, if there's nothing really to report on. So 3-day weekend, everybody's thinking fireworks and barbecues. That reminded me, it is a 3-day weekend. On Monday, no one's going to have anything else to trade but cryptocurrency or Forex because the stock market is going to be closed for Memorial Day. I'm sorry, for July 4th, for Independence. So keep that in mind. We could see, you know, if there's some day traders out there that are looking for something to trade, some money to be made, they might end up coming to the crypto space, and we could see increased volatility on Monday, since their beloved market will be completely closed for business. So we'll be keeping an eye. I will also say right here, looks like we are holding this up. There could be a break coming soon, but I bet you it'll be right after the stream ends. They do add millions of Dogecoin every day, so to counter that, we need widespread adoption so that the supply, which is like, you know, 10 million Dogecoins per day, we can surpass that supply, or I'm sorry, 10 million Dogecoins per minute per block mined. The more demand that we have, which will come from more widespread adoption, more people wanting to buy Dogecoins and use Dogecoins, that could eventually outweigh the supply that's being pushed out if there's enough people accepting Dogecoin as a currency. And at that point, it could even start to become more of a, you know, the inflation factor could become reduced to a point where it stabilizes and maybe even becomes deflationary if it's globally accepted. Now, obviously, you have to really get into economics and stuff to start doing the math on how many US dollars are printed per year versus how many people use the US dollar or any other currency versus how many Dogecoin are printed per year, and then how many people would have to use it and how much money would have to be spent and how much demand there'd have to be to make Dogecoin's inflationary factor be better than using something like the USD. You'd have to do a lot of math there. I did start trying to do it, but there's not easily accessible information to start doing that equation. So that's going to take me a minute, but you see where I'm going with it. There's a set, though there is what seems like infinite supply, it's not infinite. I mean, it kind of is because there's no limit to how long it can go on, but there is a set amount of supply being infused into the market at any given point. So if we can have more demand or equal demand to meet supply, the value of it will either hold stable over the long term or increase, which would then make it deflationary if there's enough demand for Dogecoin. But it's obviously going to take a lot at 10 million coins per block, you know. Isn't it 10 million or is it 10,000? My numbers, there's too many numbers. Dogecoin supply per block. Dogecoin, 10,000. Okay, only 10,000 Dogecoins are released in every block, which is about 14.4 new Dogecoins every day, 5.2 billion per year. So at this point, Dogecoin, there are 130 billion Dogecoins in circulation. So, you know, next year at the same time, it'll be 135 billion. The next year, it'll be 140 billion. So it's a stable increase in Dogecoins entering the circulation. So like I said, if we have more demand than that set supply, then the value will hold stable, and then it could even be deflationary with enough use. You're hanging on Yours hoping for 50 cents. Oh yeah, we'll get 50 cents. Larry says, good evening. Glad to be back. Glad to have you, Larry. How strong is the actual Doge community or Doge army? I haven't really looked into it too much. I'm curious because that is the only thing that really matters with a coin like this. Yes, people being behind it and then adoption from that is really all that matters. The most important catalyst we can possibly think of is Elon Musk Dogecoin for Tesla. At the end of the day, regardless of really how much backing Dogecoin has, Elon Musk is like one of the strongest influences, I think, in the world at this point. Because the thing with him is not only is he fluctuating between richest person and second or top 3 richest person, people in the world at any given moment, which automatically makes him influential and someone that people look up to. He's also, we already know he's like a genius. We already know he's leading one of the most revolutionary vehicle manufacturing companies in Tesla with electric vehicles, market leading company, and then also the SpaceX program with their whole space exploration, Mars initiatives. You could say another market-leading company or initiative there that he's leading. And then there's other things like the Boring Company, which is market-leading when it comes to new ways to actually travel with underground vehicle subways, you could say, with the Boring Company there, revolutionizing the way that we travel day by day. So he is easily one of the most influential people, if not the most influential person in the world right now. So what he says kind of goes, you know what I mean? And that's why even though Tesla, of all companies, which isn't even, there's GM, there's Chevy, there's Dodge, we're talking Tesla, one of the new guys in town. When they suspended Bitcoin for Tesla on May 12th, we saw the spark of one of the most extreme downtrends in major crypto history here, where it went from about 60,000 per Bitcoin all the way down to 29,000, and we're still crashed. Now, don't get me wrong, there were some other things like the FUD from China that kept the price held down. But Elon Musk. Yeah, right. Who changed their name to Elon Musk and put a heart? But there were the price was 60,000 per Bitcoin, and it went down to 29,000 per Bitcoin, and it still crashed. Now, don't get me wrong, there was still, like I said, the China FUD, which kind of held the price down and also contributed to some more downward movement, but we still have not recovered despite much good news. Many pieces of good information for Bitcoin. If that is Elon Musk, I'm going to lose my mind. But there's no way. And there's no way for me to check it either. Jeez. Does Elon Musk even have a YouTube account? Let's see. I don't think he does. How would I know? Guys, how would I possibly know? If someone's trolling me. All right. That was distracting. You guys know Elon Musk is my dude. Whew. Okay, anyway. First with Matt Wallace, but it was actually Matt Wallace that came in. How do I know this is Elon? All right, so anyway, the market crash that was sparked, we're still down here. And the only time, as you can see, we're really like the recovery could be instant back to 60,000 plus if Elon Musk said we are unsuspending. We're going to revert that suspension on Bitcoin and start accepting Bitcoin for Tesla again. That would drive the price right back up to 60,000 per Bitcoin and beyond. But the thing holding it down here, despite El Salvador accepting Bitcoin as legal tender, despite more good news about cleaner mining happening, and despite more people accepting Bitcoin as payment, Bitcoin has not increased in price. It has not recovered. That is the power of Elon Musk. Okay, that is the power. What that also tells you is that if Elon Musk does say we're going to start accepting Dogecoin as payment, you can expect the price of Dogecoin to be similarly affected by Elon Musk, the most influential person in the world, or at least you could say definitely in the list of the top ones. I'm sure that's an opinion by me, but I think it's pretty factual that he's at least in the top few, top 3, top 5, whatever way you want to look at it. As far as I'm concerned, number 1. So something like that, despite whether or not Dogecoin has a ton of people in the army at the moment, the world is going to take note of the statement. And that's going to cause people, investors, big money, despite the retails, to start investing in this currency. Just the same way that they did in Bitcoin. Because don't forget too, before he accepted Bitcoin for Tesla, the price of Bitcoin was at, I don't remember exactly, was it like 30 or 40,000? And after he did accept that, that's when kind of the major bull run of Bitcoin sparked. So Elon buys millions in Bitcoin, says we take Bitcoin now in cha-ching. With any currency Elon does that with, it is going to the moon. Any cryptocurrency. It could be baby Doge, safe Doge, whatever in the world Elon says. If there's a big announcement like that, it is going to moon. So when he says we're taking Bitcoin back, Bitcoin will recover. When he says we're taking Dogecoin, Dogecoin will then skyrocket. The ideal way for that to play out is Elon Musk say, first, we're going to take Bitcoin to make the market recover first, to eliminate some of the FUD that's in the market right now so people feel more confident investing, and we kind of get the bullish momentum back on Dogecoin side. One of the reasons the price isn't moving right now is because in the market, people are so uncertain. They aren't so certain that this is the bottom. They aren't so certain that the dip is over. They aren't so certain we're going to get back to a bull run because everything looks so bad. So once Elon recovers the entire market by taking Bitcoin back, that's going to really spark the bull run. People that had left and went to the altcoins, people that left and went to safer investing, people that left and went to the stock market, they're going to come back and try and ride the wave up. And that's going to make everyone start buying again and everyone feel more confident in things, projects like Dogecoin and whatnot. And we'll get a lot of our buying pressure back, which then means that the Dogecoin for Tesla announcement will be able to be a way more volatile move because the fear aspect that would hold back that move potentially will be eliminated. And so ideally, we'll get Bitcoin for Tesla first, then shortly thereafter on the recovery as we head back towards normal levels like Bitcoin, 50, 60,000, we'll then get, at that moment, ideally would be the Dogecoin for Tesla announcement so that then Doge can propel from where it came from, 50, 60 cents, and then have a nice launch pad to take off from, for the Doge rocket to propel from. And that should get it very quickly towards, 75, 80 cents. And once we're there, we're close to $1. You're going to see all the YouTubers start talking about it. Dogecoin's so close to $1. Are we going to get $1? The momentum's going to propel it to $1. And then all of the announcements from other companies that are observing market leader Elon Musk and Tesla, his company, and SpaceX, accepting Doge's payment, they're going to say, look, the market leading companies are doing it. They're making it work. It must be stable enough. They're making it, they're finding out how to be financially profitable from this move. Marketing teams are going to see it, say, how can we implement it? How can we advertise we're taking Doge too to get, some of the money? And that's what's, we're going to start hearing more and more and more locations start saying, we're accepting Doge. We'll accept it too. We'll accept it too. That could be Amazon as well eventually. Major catalysts to come after Dogecoin for Tesla. It's going to be a snowball event. And that will probably take us from, 70, 80 cents right through $1 and beyond. Obviously, there'll be a strong pullback at $1 first, but I'm talking like a little bit longer term, a couple weeks or something, or a month. We'll propel past $1 and end up probably like $1.10, $1.25 and beyond. Now, keeping in mind the limits I already said, reasonably $2, $2.50. We've got to respect Ethereum's market cap. It's very unlikely that we just get close to that or pass it. So we do have that hard wall right around $3. Now, as the market continues to go up, going into next year, the year after, if things are still looking good for the cryptocurrency market, as the market leader's market cap starts to go up, that ceiling keeps raising. So then the followers can increase in value without it being, with it still respecting where it should be in its place. So the ceiling for Dogecoin right now, market cap wise, is 258 billion, which is where Ethereum is comfortably, where it should be probably in second place. as the market recovers, we already saw that Ethereum will go to about 500 billion, which then raises the ceiling of where Dogecoin can go while still remaining where it should be in third place. And then as cryptocurrencies increase in value over time, Bitcoin goes up back to $1 trillion and then over towards 2 trillion. Ethereum heads towards $1 trillion value. Now you have Bitcoin, you know, the ceiling for Bitcoin raising and much more breathing room for it to increase in value while still respecting its place in third. And that's where you'll see cryptocurrencies, you know, where the Dogecoin hard limit at $3 then becomes Dogecoin at, you know, going to $4 and then maybe Dogecoin to $5. But that would be way down the line as these market leaders drastically increase in value and give the smaller guys room to grow. But you're not going to just see altcoins like Doge and, you know, XRP just match and pass Ethereum in value for no reason. So that's why you have those hard limits on what you can really expect. How much was that Doge in the window? That Doge in the window was wasn't it was it 69 cents? Oh, it was $1. It was $1. The Doge in the window was $1 on that Elon Musk tweet. Who in the world named themselves Elon Musk to get my blood pressure rising? No, not Twitch. New SpaceX Starlink cover shows transfer orbit from... Interesting. This post was funny. How much was that Doge in the window? It was $1, right? I know exactly what tweet you're talking about, and I don't think media will show me. Is anybody able to tell who this guy in the chat is that's name is Elon Musk? There's no way from live streaming for me to see. And I know I kind of trolled Matt Wallace, not thinking it was him, and then it was actually him. Elon Musk, if it's really you, give me a sign. Say something on Twitter or something. I have to be skeptical. I've been memed quite a lot. Oh, I did not know Elon Musk tweeted that. All right, so how much was the Doge in the window? Let's see. Elon, how did you get to the site? There's no way that's the real Elon Musk. Hey, Sadhu, what's going on? Great to catch you. England won? Awesome, awesome. I bet you're excited. How, it was the real Elon? How do you know? TMC crane service, $1. Yeah, it was $1. I remember it being $1. I'm just trying to find the tweet so everybody knows what he was talking about. Only thing that there was no check mark, so but he's also not like a YouTuber. He doesn't have like a known YouTube account, so there shouldn't be a check mark, right? Because why would he be verified if he doesn't do anything on YouTube? How do I know? Gotta believe. I would love to believe, but it's freaking... Yeah, Elon Musk is just on 2020 Tech Official YouTube channel. There it is, $1. That's the tweet. How much was the Doge in the window? I sent an Elon invite to Elon 4 days ago. How? Like on Twitter? Well, just in case, you know I'm about to snip that. So let's just screenshot just in case. Okay, but you guys know I try not to be naive. And you know I get memed a lot. So I'm just going to save it. I'm going to hope for a sign and hope that I did not... You sent my link? What if I tweet at him? Was that you in my stream? If it was truly Elon Musk in my stream, then surely he would respond, playing Polytopia at Starbase. Okay, Elon, if this is really you in my stream, I'm going to tweet at you. Just like the tweet. That's the most simple confirmation I can think of. Right? Because if he's just playing Polytopia at Starbase, that means he's got a few extra minutes. That means it won't be a problem to log into Twitter and like the tweet. If he likes the tweet, where I add him and ask him, that means it's really Elon Musk, in which case I may faint. To be transparent. KB says, laughing face. You did also invite him? Guys, I'm sweating. I'm not going to lie, I'm sweating. Like, actually. Let's just pretend it's the real Elon. It'll make it funnier. For what? Me to get nervous? TMC Crane Service, 69,420. That Doge in the window was $4.20. I mean, it was $1. The Doge in the window was $1. All right, we're just going to keep this up. Yes, we can fly Starship around space and chomp up debris with the moving fairing door. Yeah. There's just no way to go back to the account on YouTube during a live stream. And I thought the same thing. Yeah, it's definitely not the real Elon. All right, but I thought the same thing about Matt Wallace. Okay, and it actually was. And so, like, I was trying my best not to get, like, excited or anything. And then I did my research after. Like, I checked YouTube. And it most certainly was the real Matt Wallace. So. Well, if he's in my stream typing, then he wouldn't mind liking my tweet. So, that's why I'm saying. If it's the real him, he wouldn't mind liking it. Because also, if he cares so much, then he wouldn't be in my stream in the first place typing. Yeah, Matt Wallace is a different... Well, it was Matt Wallace. It was actually him. Hopefully he has a sense of humor. Someone using his name. What if he is? Skydive has the plug on all the celebs. She told you she was getting Elon. Well, here he is. That she did. But, yeah. All right, well... Okay. We're seeing a little bit of movement finally from Bitcoin. See this here? Guys, please. I don't think my heart can handle Elon Musk popping in the stream. But yeah, if you guys didn't see on my Twitter, I did end up pinning it, but Final Stand did actually come into the stream, and he said he subscribed, so that was cool. And I checked the account, it was actually him. So yeah, basically, so yeah, that's the price prediction on Dogecoin. I mean, $1 by the end of the year is not only very possible considering market caps and everything, but that's kind of everyone's magic number. That's the target. So we'll at least get close. But with those catalysts, it's going to propel us very close to that anyway. And then the snowballing and the hype and everything and the, people following the hype, that'll propel us the rest of the way. Even if the announcement from Elon gets us to like 80 cents, we'll have enough hype to get us, into the 90s. And then longer term, we just got to see what happens. We know up to $2 is still pretty reasonable without getting close to Ethereum market cap and still holding the third place spot where we should be. According to Vitalik Buterin, though, he even thinks that Dogecoin could be number 2. So what that means is that he sees a world where Dogecoin takes over Ethereum. Because he said Bitcoin number 1 and then, Ethereum or Dogecoin. He's like, I think it's pretty fair to say Dogecoin could be number 2. With Ethereum in number 3. And he's the creator of Ethereum, okay? So him saying that means a lot. That's the guy that created the thing and is still updating it, running it. He thinks that Dogecoin could take a number 2 spot given adoption and, the right catalysts. So that means there's actually room to get close to or slightly above Ethereum, which at this point would be somewhere around, we'll just say anywhere from $2 to $4 without going too crazy. But getting beyond $2 at this moment, thinking that far ahead, is a little wishful. So I like to keep my limit somewhere around $2 tops. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping up here. I think I'm going to start wrapping up. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Don't forget, click subscribe if you want to catch some more of this content. If something goes on later and we see this move start spiking up, obviously if it's something worth watching together, I'll go ahead, go back live, and we'll have a quick what's going on and let's talk projections and where we're going to stop stream. But if not, of course, I'll be live tomorrow, just like I am every single day, and we'll have much more to talk about. Dude, that's because the more trading on ETH Doge bridge, it helps him out. Of course, he's going to say it will take number 2. Sure, but also at the same time, he said he's more than happy to... Here's the thing with Vitalik. He doesn't need any money, so dude's already a freaking billionaire. I don't think, just like Elon Musk, Vitalik, at the end of the day, I don't think he cares about really doing stuff just to promote the Ethereum network. At the same time, yes, of course, talking about Doge and Ethereum at the same time is going to boost his service, but what other than, he's already a billionaire. He already had 50% stake in the SHIB token, and he just gave that all away. Like, if he wanted money, he wouldn't have done that. So I think Vitalik's a slightly better person than that, than to assume that the only reason he said that was to pump Ethereum. Like, it doesn't even need pumping. But he said he likes Dogecoin, and he would consider doing a bridge to Ethereum. Now, that part obviously would help out a little bit, but just the fact, the reason behind him saying it to be to better Ethereum, I don't think so. Ethereum needs no help. Learned a lot today. I'm glad to hear that. Ryan Jadwood, thanks as always. Of course. All right, guys, I am going to wrap up. Keep an eye on the Bitcoin chart. Of course, even if you are the Dogecoin buyers, the followers of Doge, just like me, I'm not invested in Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is the market leader. So that means if you want to know where Dogecoin's going to go, you need to be looking at Bitcoin's chart and then find your levels there, figure out what's happening, copy that over to Dogecoin, and that will give you your answer. So thanks for hanging out today. Again, click subscribe before you end up closing out the channel, and I appreciate all your support. Have a great day, guys.